Oh, you know what I love?
Sports.
I love sports.
Sports.
When it comes to Texas A&M.
Where are you getting this information?
Let me tell you.
Welcome to TexAgs.
It's here. It's time. There's always a buzz in the air when you hit this moment.
He is a guy that has gotten better and better and better. He's just got that dog in him.
We will develop men. We will graduate players, and we will win championships on the field.
I think of him as this hawk. Before long, he's going to be swooping in on those quarterbacks.
And they embody what the school is about. It's about getting into hard situations and getting ourselves out. It's about working hard. It's about doing amazing things.
And this is a real program. It's not fake. This is a real place. And if you want to be really good at football, this is a really good place to be.
You know, if I'm betting on anybody, it's the Aggies.
OB, did you see the breaking news this morning?
What breaking news are you referring to?
Ross Dellinger, who always has, like, you know, he's become the guy when it comes to college sports. He says, there's a couple tweets out, then he wrote an article for Yahoo Sports. Lawmakers are making an adjustment to the Protect College Sports Act. Controversial's anti-expansion provision. The revised language would allow the group of 6 schools to move into Power 4 conferences, which is one of the big sticking points for both the SEC and the Big Ten. But wait, there's more. By the way, this is part of a larger effort to secure support from the SEC and the Big Ten. But the more explosive part was SEC leaders are reportedly planning a Plan B. Okay? And that Plan B, and there's a little bit of the tweet up there for you, a self-governing model in which the SEC enforces its own rules and perhaps eventually competes, only against its own members. React, if you will. This is real-time reaction, right? You didn't see this.
First of all, I think this Plan B may be dead wrong on this, but I think it's just
politicking?
Yeah.
That's what I think.
Because
they ain't got to do it. They got to play 16 teams.
I don't see that happening.
That's the SEC regular season.
So you're going to say, well, didn't it say they could add teams?
Yeah.
So,
but that's if they do the Protect College Sports Act.
Right, but if the SEC wanted to break off, they could probably add
teams anyway.
But, you know, do you really want to win the SEC championship and call it a national championship?
No.
Yeah, I mean, you know, maybe it's where it's headed now. If it's the SEC and Big Ten together,
and then they add a couple of teams too.
And let's say you take the SEC and the Big Ten as it is, and you said 6 teams.
Yeah.
Let's name the 6: Notre Dame, Miami,
Florida State, Clemson.
2 more.
I would think North Carolina.
I would think.
One of the Virginia schools?
Texas Tech. Maybe they don't want to deal with Cody.
I don't know. Cody Campbell, who did he I read part of it. Was it Bruce Feldman? Somebody had the report.
Well, I don't think they want to leave out BYU and Utah, though.
Yeah. I think we don't need you. You need us. So if you're going to try to dictate rules to us, we can do our own thing.
I think that's exactly what that is.
And that doesn't mean that they will go ahead and do it, but they can do it, is what they're saying.
Does it say they can add 6 or as many or more than 6 or up to 6?
Where did you get the 6 from?
I thought I heard you when you were first reading it about.
No, group of 6 schools.
They can add group of 6 schools.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. So then, you know, you can get the
you can
ones
whoever you want.
Yeah.
Yeah. Look, at the end of the day, and by the way, Zane to our content team text, we know what Sankey's going to be asked about immediately. We'll see what kind of answers he says. But usually in his State of the Union address, if you will, he does like to send some shockwave through college football and some warning shots, right? He does his ether to the rest of the college football world. And last year he didn't as much, but he has in years past. I just think at the end of the day, look, we're not going to get on board with this Protect College Sports Act as it's written. So if you want our support, these are the changes we have to see. And oh, by the way, we don't have to do anything. We can do our own thing. We don't need the Big Ten. We'd like to work with the Big Ten. We don't need to. We are the big bad boys called the SEC. And I know we haven't won the national championship, but you all still envy us.
I think the Big Ten and the SEC need each other. I really do. I just don't. As defiant as it sounds, and we're just going to take control of our own destiny if we can't reach an agreement. I just don't see a conference, even with 20 teams, being able to. I mean, maybe they will work it out where whoever wins the SEC gets a chance to play everybody else. But the biggest issue.
This ain't going to happen.
I don't think so. Now, I still think the Super League is a possible.
Yeah.
But that's getting Sankey and Dede on the same page, and they typically aren't.
You know what a heel is in wrestling, right?
Yeah, he's the bad guy.
Right. What if, I don't know if this would make him the heel or the hero, but what if the Big Ten says, you know what? Go ahead, SEC, do your thing. We're going to team up with these guys over here. And then we'll be the real national champions. You guys can go over there and you can watch your league crumble.
Well, yeah, they can call it, well, we're the real national champions. But again, I think if that national championship game between, Ohio State and another Big Ten team, because I don't see BYU or Utah or
Tech. Miami maybe.
But, if you look up at the end of the year and you saw, a 12-1 or something, Alabama or Texas A&M or Texas or LSU or Alabama.
Yeah.
Who's the national champ?
I am not a wrestling guy, so I apologize for the second wrestling reference. But you remember when we were kids in the 80s, 70s, 60s, wrestling was so regional, right?
Yes.
Right? You had Houston wrestling. Mm-hmm. You had, what was it called in Dallas? World-class wrestling?
World-class championship wrestling with the Von Erichs.
Right. You had Midwest. You had all these regions, right? And sometimes these wrestlers would go from different regions, but they were usually attached to an area. Then Vince McMahon came in and globalized the sport, and I don't, not that I like wrestling because I don't watch it, but it made it all this big world power.
Yeah.
I feel like this is what's happening in college football right now, where your conference in the future is not going to matter as much. That's why I like the SEC at least kind of, flexing their muscles, saying we can still be the South. Yeah. We can be the Southeast Conference. Watch out.
I think ultimately the Big Ten and Southeast Conference want to be able to work together. I do. I really believe
it's better for business.
Yeah, it's better for everybody. It's like
the mafia families.
That's what I was thinking.
Yeah, we think alike, except other things.
But it's interesting. You know what? It's good fodder going into the SEC media days next week.
So I forget who we had on the show yesterday. Maybe one of you guys can remind me. We had a national person on the show, and they're like,
Dennis Dodd.
Oh, it was with you. And he said it. He's like, I don't think the SEC and the Big Ten want to expand, but they don't want to be told that they can't. Yeah. They want to, maybe not right now. They're not looking to do it at the moment. But do you think they will?
Yes.
Do you think, every summer, except last summer, we've gotten some kind of conference expansion since I've been here. Last summer, it was quiet.
Yeah, I don't think it's going to happen. Nothing in college sports, especially football, surprises me. I cannot be surprised by college football anymore. So if they announce, 2 or 3 days from now, hey, if we're going to add Florida State and Miami, I go, well, didn't see that coming, but not surprised.
Cool. Yeah.
If it takes 5 years, I'm not going to be surprised. College sports, we've talked about it, the whole business of it is so, I got to choose my words carefully, so fouled up that anything's possible.
Well, I think this is the biggest issue. There is not an adult in the room. There's several 20-year-old college students running college football. What I mean is there isn't a leader, and then a leader that does inspire movement. You know what? I like his vision. Let's go. Everybody is selfish, which they're supposed to be, right? Like they all care about their product, their Game of Thrones, their piece of land.
This is what Mike Elko talked about. Mm-hmm. He said you got he said this at the spring meetings. You got all these different people worried about what's going to affect us, worried about us, what's best for me, and not necessarily what's best for the game overall.
No.
And some would point at Sankey and say, there's an example.
Or he could be like, no, what I'm doing is best for all. Because going this direction to take away the ability to add teams and to, all the things he disagrees with the Protect College Sports Act. I actually, and maybe I'm wrong here, I haven't done enough reading, I am in favor of the Protect College Sports Act without really reading the College Protect Sports. I know bullet points. Right?
You're in favor of the idea.
Yes.
But you're not financially invested in it.
Correct.
It's not your business to say, okay, now how is this going to affect us and all this? You just want some structure.
I want structure. What's best for college football?
But what's best for the SEC and its members, Alabama, Texas A&M, Texas, LSU, Oklahoma, Georgia, Florida, that's what's best for us. And that's probably not what is best for Baylor and Oklahoma State and Iowa State.
Okay.
Boston College.
So what is best for and by the way, I'm going to be very honest with you. It doesn't have to be for everybody. Major League Baseball isn't set up best for the small market teams either, right? I think the NFL has it somewhat right. But look, I don't need James Madison having the exact same chance of winning a national championship as Texas A&M. I just don't. They don't register. I know they had a nice year last year. They don't register in this conversation.
Some would say they kind of actually did already win one last year.
Well,
since half the team from Indiana came from James Madison.
Yeah. Well, didn't Central Florida claim a national championship a few years ago?
They didn't. They actually had a pretty good argument. Back in the day of sports writer voting, they might have won it the way BYU did. You know what?
Yeah.
They were undefeated. Who was the national champion that year? Alabama? They were undefeated, and they had a win over Auburn, which had beaten Alabama or Georgia or whoever it was.
Right.
So, hey, we beat the team that beat you.
Yeah.
Yeah, not buying, but that's the way they looked at it. But anyway.
If you, Olin Buchanan, could draw up your Protect College Sports Act, and I don't want the legal print, just what will college sports look like?
Well, I've always been a proponent of saying if you can't play at the $100 tables, then don't play at the $100 tables. So I'm going to figure out how much money is going to be dispensed and say, hey, if you can't hang with that, I've always felt like there needs to be a new level. In high schools here in Texas, for a long time it went 1A to 5A. And they said, you know what, we need a 6A. All right, I think we need a 6A. I think we need to figure out, this is a super league, figure out who can play at the $100 tables, make them that conference, and then just have maybe a different set of rules for that.
Yeah.
And I'm talking about financial rules and distribution, things like that for that super league. And then, then a team like Baylor, maybe Baylor's a bad example because under the one coach they had there, they had chances to win national championships. But, a team like Iowa State might actually have a reasonable chance to win a national, or Central Florida.
Well, what I would say to that is I agree with you. I think there should be a structure towards a A league and then the B league, if you will, maybe even a C league, okay? But and I'm sorry, soccer
guy wants
or some kind of up and down, but I think there should be
6 or 7 teams in.
I think you should be able to protect certain teams, Protect College Sports Teams Act, okay? Like Notre Dame's not going to move down to Division II. A&M's not moving down to the Division II. I think there should be some ability, and I don't know if that's every year or a 5-year rolling average. You have to have a certain win percentage, or if you're, I don't know. I don't know what that part is.
I would put it more on value. Like if you can't average 40,000 fans, I don't think that's a ridiculous number.
Yeah.
But if you can't average 40,000 fans, you can't be in this.
Yeah. 70,000 fans. That's the cutoff.
It's funny because I'm thinking if you average 40,000 fans, watch Vanderbilt start selling season tickets for $50.
Right. But you also have to generate X amount.
So, yeah, because people jump in, teams that don't belong jump in just because there's more money to be distributed. That it's almost like you're leeching off of off the major schools.
All right, let's tell the people the name of the show. I forgot already.
TexAgs Live.
Thank you. I thought we were SEC Live for a minute. And we are presented by who?
By David Gardner's Jewelers.
Yeah.
David and Julia. Yeah.
We are in the what?
Rollo Insurance Studio.
Thank you very much. If, by the way, there's a lot of good people that work there.
Yeah, Jason, Jackson, Keith, Morgan, the men, the women, the boys, the whole entire family.
I bet you they got a Leroy that works there, and a Jimmy, and a Suzanne.
I want Leroy handling my account.
I want Suzanne.
Okay.
All right. Actually, I have Morgan. Never mind. I'm good. What else? This is the Go Hour.
The Go Hour is brought to you by the Warehouse CC Creations.
And we are now sitting in an area that we call the what?
The Holistic Planning Cool Zone.
Very cool. It is
kind of cool today.
Yeah, it's not bad. If you want to be a part of the conversation, you can call us on the Buppies Catering and
Bartending.
You know what? Football season's almost here. Do you think Buppy's thinking about, I got to feed those dudes?
I don't know. I hope he is. He did an amazing job for us. We were spoiled.
I did gain like 27 pounds.
I did.
Thanks, Buppy.
The food was so good.
It was so delicious. You can also text the show, and that is the Catalyst Pure Performance Energy text line. That number, OB.
979-693-1150.
Every once in a while, I ask you a different part of the question.
Yeah, I know, and I'm not prepared, but I rallied.
You know what it's like? It's like when I ask Billy a question, and he answers the next question I'm going to ask, but I'm thinking about something else, and then I ask him that question, and he gives me that look like, okay.
I'm getting some Pure Performance Energy today from Catalyst.
I think it's time to do push-ups on the stage.
I didn't do a whole lot of sleeping last night, so I needed a jolt, and I'm getting it.
He's getting that jolt. Let's get a jolt of action around the room. Behind the glass is our director of the year. We call him Nick because that's his name, Savage.
Good morning, y'all.
Good morning.
Hey, so I've thought about that, like if I was the college football king, what would it look like to me? And it's kind of what Olin said in a way. It would just be like a restructuring of Division I, Division II, Division III, like the power conferences, two or one big super league of like 32 teams would be Division I. Then you get the group of 6 teams would be Division II, so on and so forth. And each level would get their own playoff, right? Because to me, it's like James Madison, those schools that get in, that take spots away from, SEC or Big Ten teams, and they get in the playoff and they don't even compete in the first round game. They're playing a different level of football, so they should compete against each other in their own playoff. Let the group, the big 32 teams or whatever, play in their own playoff, and I think that would be a net benefit for college football because you get more championship games. There would be more interest to me in a new Division II with teams like Boise State and I don't know, name whoever you want, but that's kind of what I was thinking.
But let me ask you this, Nick, and this is for you too, OB. Would there be interest in Boise State if Boise State didn't do what they did before and beat some Goliaths? Like, are we going to care? Like, Oklahoma State now isn't the same Oklahoma State. Now, they could be this year with Drew Messamaker, right? But I'm saying, like, the value of a team is based on what they've done in somewhat recent history, right?
Yes.
But if 1,000%. You drop and you stop playing teams that you think are relevant, you don't care anymore.
First of all, I think the Super League, if it happens, will be a lot more than 32 teams. I think it'll be at least double 60, that, 64. Yeah. Boise State beats Oklahoma in the Fiesta Bowl, and they even beat Georgia one year at the first game of the year. Not too long ago, they beat Florida State under, what was that coach's name they brought?
Chris Peterson?
No. The Florida State coach that replaced Jimbo, that everybody said was going to be a great coach. He was a spectacular failure.
Yes.
Willie something.
Willie Target. Willie Taggart.
Taggart. Yeah. Thank you. And so
Taggart.
So they're a program that I understand that they would be trying to get into this 64 team Super League. But they're never going to win a national championship.
No.
Of course, you could say that there's teams that would be in the 64 team that'll never win it. Is Vanderbilt ever going to win a national championship?
I would have said no, but Indiana proved to me you never know. Indiana wouldn't make they would probably make the 60 before, I'm saying before Signetti. Would they have made the 60?
Well, the teams that are going to be already in the conference are going to be, they're not going to push them out.
But, I mean, there was talks at one point, like, if the SEC ever wanted to get rid of a team, it would be Vanderbilt.
Yes, and that's why I think that you saw, we've talked about this, you saw in the last 4 or 5 years, a lot of money being pumped into their program, as expanding their stadium and their facilities, because I think the SEC reminded them, if you don't use the money on your program, we don't have to keep you around.
Taggart, when I yelled that out loud, do you know what I was thinking about?
Beverly Hills Cop.
Yeah, Rosewood and Taggart.
Yeah, and they could have done a better job coaching Florida State than Willie did.
Absolutely. Let's go to the Angry Elephant News and Social Center. Kayla Gaither here, starring on the show. Gaither, what up?
Well, I'm going to read a text because this text is kind of in opposition of what y'all are talking about. Okay. So someone texted in the show and said, maybe instead of there's already divisions in college football, no need for another level. The money tiering system seems unfair. If the team is good, let them in and prove it. Whatever, if the James Madisons of the world don't deserve it, then that's on the committee.
Well, that's where we are now.
Yeah, so don't change.
All they're going to do, what they're going to do now and what they've already done is kind of, I think, rewriting the rules about who gets in.
Yep.
Because they don't want to deal with the ACC champion, doesn't get in. And so you have two of these groups.
And to me, this is deeper than just the Super League. And like, it's about rules and playoff expand. There's so many layers to what the College Protect College Sports Act is and what the future of college football could look like. Transfer portal. In a little bit, we may get into what Dabble was talking about tampering. He had some things to say yesterday. There's a lot that there just needs to be rules that everybody's governed by. And I think it's deeper than who gets into your conference. But could you imagine the show, not this show, but a show of the 65th team that didn't get into the 64? You know how we do for the team that doesn't make the college. Notre Dame got robbed. This team didn't get to the NCAA. Buzz got robbed. 65th team, whoever it is. McNeese gets robbed. Sorry, Bronny.
Yeah, well, somebody's in it. If you go to 70 teams, and somebody's going to be mad because they're 71.
Yeah.
It's just the way it is. Oh. You get what you get.
Yeah, you know what? Screw it. Let's take them to lunch and break bread, break some brisket, and figure out a resolution. And you know what? We could take all weekend to do it. We could just keep eating there and eating there and eating there.
Yeah, I kind of disagree on your premise, though. I think what you do is the 64 teams or whatever, they get to go to 1775.
Oh.
Yeah, you got to earn it.
So James Madison, no 1775.
Well, unless they get in, But sorry, James. Some people have to. Some people, you're just not good enough. I know. See, but I know Brad and Brandon. They would disagree because they'd say everybody should have access.
There's no VIP
to the
room.
Succulent brisket.
No champagne room.
No,
we all go in.
We all sit together and enjoy that amazing Texas barbecue, the succulent brisket, the amazing pork ribs, the scrumptious.
You haven't used that one in a while. That's a good one.
Sausage. I like that.
Yeah, scrumptious.
Scrumptious.
How do you spell that?
That healthy and yet tasty turkey.
Can you spell scrumptious?
SCRUMTPTOUS.
You're so
scrumptious.
Good. Yeah.
And then, of course, for the champion, they save a little bit of that queso mac and cheese.
Big piece of chicken for the champion with a queso mac and cheese.
Queso mac and cheese.
It is 1775 TXBBQ.com.
Championship barbecue.
979-492-6241 is 1775.
It's good.
Yes, it's great. Hey everyone, David Nuno here of TexAgs Live. I want to introduce you to the team at Holistic Planning. Got Jason Barber here, Taylor Pankratz, and also Paul Meredith. Jason, I want to start off with you. What really sets Holistic Planning apart from the others?
Yeah, so what makes us different is most financial advisors stop at investment management. On the other hand, Holistic Planning, we manage investments, taxes, and estate planning all on one team, all underneath one roof.
Now, Taylor, when everything is coordinated like that, it really helps the bottom line, doesn't it?
It really does. When your investments and taxes are working together, You stop leaving money on the table and keep more of what's yours.
Paul, Holistic Planning is trying to expand as well.
That's true. We just opened our Houston office, and we're looking for people who feel like their advisor isn't seeing the full picture, because that's exactly what we fix.
And Jason, there's other opportunities beyond that.
Definitely. If you're a financial advisor and you want to join the Holistic Planning team, we're looking to add 50 teams in the next 5 to 10 years. So check out holisticplanning.com/advisors.
All right, so if you want a team that actually coordinates everything, go to holisticplanning.com. Aggies, this one is worth it. I wish I had Olin here for it because he loves energy drinks. Catalyst Citrus Spark. This is one of the new flavors out there. Whether you're grinding through workouts, cramming for a test, or closing in on a deal, or getting ready for TexAgs Live, you never know, right? Fast becoming the go-to fuel for Aggies everywhere. Zero sugar, I'm all in for that. Or synthetic sweeteners, no artificial colors or flavors. Catalyst delivers clean, high-performance energy with smooth, crisp taste that is never syrupy, designed for both health and hustle. You want to get going, you use this Catalyst right here. It's about pure energy and pure results. And what sets them apart? Packed with premium nootropics blended to boost focus, clarity, and mental stamina. I need this. I'm in, guys. I'm in. Plus, with plant-based caffeine, vitamin B12, B6, Catalyst supports metabolism and energy production, making it more than a drink. It's your lifestyle training partner. Built for competitors on the field, Catalyst fuels strength, focus, and pure results. Buy now at drinkcatalyst.com. That is drinkcatalyst.com. Train harder, think sharper, pure results. It's Catalyst. I get up and nothing gets me down. What a way to live, David Lee Roth.
Yeah.
I get up, but sometimes I get upset.
Yeah. Well,
but David Lee Roth is just a happy dude. Way to go.
Back when that song was popular, I would imagine he was one of the happiest guys in the world.
Yep.
Remember all that hair he had?
I'm trying to think.
He looked like
he did have long hair. Yeah.
He had hair like a 1980s Dallas woman. the big hair going everywhere, and now he's bald.
I haven't seen him recently.
Yeah, maybe not bald, but he doesn't have a lot of hair.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Are you more Team Sammy or Team
It's
David?
like Andre Agassi.
Yeah.
Oh, definitely more Team David.
Yeah.
Yeah.
For Van Halen or just overall?
No, I thought Van Halen was a better group. I mean, that's when you think Van Halen, you think of the David Lee Roth era, not Sammy.
Yeah.
I think of Sammy on his own because he can't drive 55.
It's a great song.
Yeah,
that's a great song. This is TexAgs Live. We are presented by David Gardner's Jewelers. We are in the Rollo Insurance Studio. We didn't do this in the last segment because we talked so much about the SEC potentially having a plan B for the future of college football, where they would only compete with each other. And but right now it's time for 3 things we want to see, and I think we should focus on next week at SEC Media Days, brought to you by the Brazos Running Company. From running shoes to Aggie pajamas, this Aggie family's got you covered. Visit Brazos Running Company at Century Square or shop at masonhay.com. Do you have 3 things, maybe? A couple of A&M things, maybe somebody else that you want to see next week or hear?
I want to see, number one, I want to see Damian Sanford moving around like a guy that looks like he's about to, play in September.
Yeah.
That's number one. Since he's going to be there, I want to see my own eyes. I want to see him moving around, being nimble.
Yep.
What else do I want to see? I want to see Lane Kiffin say something that's going to cause I don't know, controversy is the right word, but a reaction. Because I don't know if we have a coach anymore that says the thing that's going to cause the big reaction, except for maybe him. So maybe he'll say, Ole Miss, they're going to be crap without me. Oh, great.
Right.
I don't expect that to happen. What else do I want to see?
Anything from Elko? Or here?
I mean, okay, I'm probably going to ask Elko something along the lines of, and he may not like it, but I think it's pertinent to, moving forward, something along the lines of, hey, what have y'all figured out about over the off season, everything about the tendency to give up the big runs and the misfits and solving that problem. What over the last 6 months, I'm sure he even said after the Texas game, he said, we got to figure out, are we asking our guys to do things they can't do?
Yeah. I'd like to hear Marcel talk about what is different offensively with Holman Wiggins, if he's noticed anything. He might say it's the same.
Yeah, I think it's going to be very similar. It's just that it's like the go hour. When it was Gabe, we had it was a successful show despite ourselves. And then David took over, and it's still the same shows. It's just different. You added your nuances, your personality, your stamp to it.
Right.
So I think the overall scheme and premise is still going to be very similar, but you'll see some. You'll see Holman Wiggins' stamp on it.
Yep.
Now, what does that look like? That's the big question. I think he even told me, hey, we're still going to be a team that wants to run the football first.
Yep.
But does that mean we see Marcel more involved in the running game? Because, remember, I bet you remember that LSU game 2 years ago when he came in the third quarter.
Oh, I do remember
and he was
that.
part of that running game.
Yeah. They only threw 2 passes. They were both great.
But I don't know if we saw a lot of that last year, did we?
No. And I think the reason we didn't was they were trying to protect the quarterback for the whole season.
There's probably some truth to that, but I'm always of the way I know. The thing about Marcel is, does Marcel ever take a big hit? Even when he got hurt last year, nobody hit him.
Right.
I mean, think about the poor kid from Florida in his first start, and Marcel juked him, and the kid's jockstrap was up in his helmet. He went one way, Marcel went the complete other way. Completely. Does Marcel ever take a solid hit while he's running? Remember, 4th and 12, he takes off against South Carolina. 2 guys got a beat on him, and he just dances around him like he's Michael Jackson.
Beat it. All right.
And they did. They
did beat it.
They beat them.
They beat those Gamecocks. I had to use both words there. When insurance matters most, who's going to answer your call? Huh?
Yeah, it was a heck of a game.
Yeah, it was a great game. Anyway, whether it's home, auto, or business or ranch insurance, I want you, those watching on TV, those listening on The Zone, those watching on KBTX or YouTube, to start a relationship who puts you first. They can take care of you with everything from home to auto to business. I'm talking about auto insurance, of course. Your agent becomes familiar with your specific situation, providing you a customized protection plan that mass market insurance simply cannot match. So when you need advice or have a claim, you'll speak directly with someone who knows you by name and by face. That's the Rollo difference. They've got 60 offices in Texas, but their headquarters right here in College Station on Highway 6. Visit rolloinsurance.com/TexAgs. rolloinsurance.com/TexAgs, or call them up, 888-44-ROLLO. That's 888-44-ROLLO. Hey everybody, David Nunya here, TexAgs Live, here with Sheldon and Danny Shelley of Aggieland Hydration. Sheldon, I want to start off with you. What is Aggieland Hydration and who do you serve?
So we're a mobile IV company. We serve the Bryan College Station area, and we are licensed under our medical director to work anywhere in the state of Texas, but given the name, we're focused on the Bryan College Station area.
Danny, how do appointments work?
So when a client calls in, they can call into our main line, or we have an online booking process. We get a quick little bit of information, name, date of birth, the address of where we're going to go, kind of what's going on. We give that information over to our nurse, and usually they can arrive within 30 minutes to an hour.
Danny, who's this geared towards? Is it more for like sick people, athletes, people who've been partying? Who is this for?
All the above.
Okay.
And it just really depends on what you're getting after. Sheldon travels a lot, so I give him an IV once a week. Some people get it just as needed, like when they're sick or if they've been working, in the yard all weekend, if they just had a big workout, stuff like that.
And all right, Sheldon, help me out. Why do I not just drink a bunch of water or juice? Like, why go the IV route?
Yeah, so drinking water orally, you don't absorb it all. So getting a liter of fluids into your bloodstream directly, you feel the results better. And it's equivalent to drinking about almost 2.5 gallons of water.
All right, that's Aggieland Hydration. How do people check you out?
They can go to our website at aggielandhydrationandinjectables.com.
Or you can call them up at 979-217-1561. It is Aggieland Hydration. We're back. TexAgs Live, presented by David Gardner's Jewelers, Rollo Insurance Studio. He's OB.
I'm obese.
And I didn't say that. I said OB.
Oh, okay.
And I'm David Nuno. We've been projecting, okay? Marcel. There's been a lot of talk about Marcel this, Marcel that, and yada, yada, yada. Okay? So I wanted to remind people, what's up? Sorry, I got ghetto on you. I want to remind people of the stellar season that Marcel Reed had in 2025 by going through the top 10 plays that Carson Stein found, and he cut some video for us, he and Andrew Wu.
Well, let's see. There's going to be that run for a touchdown against LSU.
Okay. So if these don't make it, he's fired. Go ahead.
There's going to be the touchdown pass to Bocature. I don't know if there's going to be the touchdown pass against Notre Dame to
Mario
Craver, because I thought that was more of a Craver play.
Well,
but if it's on there,
we may do a wide receiver top 10.
But if there's on there, that's one. Okay. Let's see. The touchdown pass.
He had a couple against South Carolina.
The touchdown pass to Ashton Bethel-Roman against South Carolina. The fourth down play against South Carolina.
Well, let's go through some of these plays, shall we?
Okay, let's see them.
Number 10 is the touchdown that got A&M back into the game against South Carolina. They were down 30-3.
Nice throw.
Isaiah Williams comes in, and he scores that touchdown to make it 30-10.
Was that his only catch? Maybe he might have had one other later.
Yeah, he had another one later. So that was a 26-yard strike.
Okay.
So number 9 on the list.
Naughty number 9.
This is also a Nate Bocature special, but not the one you're thinking of. It's against
South Carolina.
Yes, against South Carolina. Yeah.
But what's Marcel? See, that's what I'm always talking about with Marcel. Just see just the little dip of the shoulder, like he was going to run, and the linebacker reacts to it, moves one way. He wasn't on the. You couldn't see, and Bocature's wide open.
Right. So that made it a one-score game.
Mm-hmm.
Oh my! Was there a lot of South Carolina games back to back to back?
It was a heck of a half.
How about the go-ahead touchdown to KC Concepcion?
Well, that wasn't a touch. I mean, that wasn't the touchdown, but it was a heck of a pass.
Yeah, to the almost sets up the touchdown. Yeah,
the play before he ran like 30 yards for what should have been the go-ahead touchdown.
Correct.
And then he comes right back and makes this heck of a throw to KC down to the 4-yard line.
Yep.
And I think EJ scores on the next play with Trey Zune pulling and leading through the hole.
Yeah. Let's go to play number 7 on the list. Marcel Reed finds Mario Craver.
Going deep. Second play of the game, I think.
Yeah, 67-yard pass. Look at that beauty.
OB, pretty sure that was the first play from scrimmage for him. Yeah.
Okay. First or second. I knew that.
We go now.
And that answered the question, like, can he throw deep? That was a big.
He threw deep.
Yeah.
Okay. Number 6 on the list.
Okay.
Are you familiar with Marcel Reed to KC Concepcion at Notre Dame?
Yeah, deep ball.
Double coverage.
And both is a good throw, and then KC makes a good adjustment on it. He comes 1 yard away from being a touchdown. But what do you know? You had Le'Veon Moss to run it in.
Yeah. He trusted an elite receiver there, and then the elite receiver made the adjustment to make the play against that very good Notre Dame secondary.
But you see KC stop and then jump up for it. You wonder, since he had to jump, if he just stayed up. It might have been right on the money anyway. But hey, it worked. It was a big completion against Notre Dame.
All right. How about number 4 on the list?
Number 4.
Are you familiar with Ashton Bethel-Roman and this 37 sideline completion? 37-yard, I should say.
Well, the one I'm seeing right now is the 4th and 12.
Oh, sorry, I moved ahead. I'm sorry. I moved ahead, so fire me. Now you know the next one. 4th and 12 scramble versus South Carolina. Yeah, this one might have been a little higher for me on the list.
Yeah, that was amazing, because none of this happens if he doesn't pick up that first down.
Yep. Now, as I told you before, the early tease, the 37-yarder sideline completion to Ashton Bethel-Roman.
That's not that.
Oh my gosh, are we just destroying ourselves? Which play is that? Who's that?
Arkansas.
Okay. Yeah, there we go.
He had a touchdown pass to Ashton Bethel-Roman in that game too. And
I think I just read it wrong.
He would have had a game clinching, like 50-yard touchdown run on that, and there was kind of a bogus holding call on Basantis.
Let's go to number 3 on the list. And I know I'm right on this one. This is a play that you alluded to earlier, OB. Let's take a look at it. It's against LSU. Do you like jukes?
Oh, man. Oh, well, that's not even the one. That's the first or third and goal from, and he
you were talking about the bigger run. This is the short one where he does the juke at the very end.
Yeah, is that Harold Perkins is facing right out of his shoes.
Okay.
Looks like a matador, making the bull go right by him.
Now another ABR play, but this is the one I think that is cemented in everybody's memory. Let's go to the South Carolina game for number 2.
Wait, God, this is a...
What's that?
Well, if this is number 2, that means one of 2 plays didn't make the list. The game-winning touchdown pass to Bokacher would be one.
Right.
Or the 41-yard run, which was a thing of beauty for the first touchdown against LSU.
Well,
fail, Stein.
Well, you know what? Content team, fail. Number 1 on the list is...
Notre Dame.
Nate Bokacher. Okay? The game-winning touchdown. We are standing in the end zone, and I am actually right there, right by our camera, where Brian Jones shot it. And I could not tell if he made the catch. I saw the celebration. I'm like, wait, did he? For reals? I think you were next to me, too. Billy was there. Seth McKinney was there. What an amazing, and to me, that felt like, of course, there was a long way to go in the season, but that felt like, okay, we are who we think we are.
Yeah, you go up and beat Notre Dame on the road, obviously, but you just beat Notre Dame, and that says, all right, this is a team that can be a championship contender, and they were.
And this is funny. DWBTS says, I've never seen a bad play in a highlight video.
It's true.
That's called a highlight.
That's why it says a highlight.
We do have lowlights.
But, yeah.
Actually, it depends on your perspective. I would bet you Harold Perkins would call that a lowlight.
For Harold, yeah. Can't leave out that 41-yard run against LSU.
All right, which one would you take out?
Well, for one of them, I would take out the 5-yard run against LSU.
Okay.
I mean, he's done a lot of those.
He has. Well, we can make an executive decision right here. Boom, change. Okay.
But I mean that had he not struggled against Texas and Miami, as someone, and I think I speak with just a tiny bit of authority here, as someone who's been a Heisman Trophy voter since '94, that touchdown, that first touchdown against LSU would have been his Heisman moment. That and the Notre Dame pass. Those would have been his Heisman highlight plays that everybody would show.
OB, when's the last time you had Bubba's 33?
Probably about 2 or 3 weeks ago.
Okay. So I think we can set up a meeting there as well. Okay. I like wings. I think you know that about me.
I do.
I order wings everywhere I go. The wings, they have a bunch of different great flavors there.
I thought you were talking about Paul McCartney's group, but yeah, I like the chicken wings as well.
Yeah. Buffalo wings, some people call them.
Buffalo wings.
Yeah. I can have 30, no problem. If Stephen McGee wants to do a Bubba's 33 challenge, I'm all in.
You want $100 a wing, huh?
No, I mean, if he's willing. If he's willing. How many wings do you think you could throw down? Like if I said, all right, Bubba's 33 wings, you have to eat, you have 30 minutes.
30 minutes?
Yeah.
And they're going to pay me $100 a wing?
No, you have to, could you, if they said, we'll give you $500 if you eat 50 wings in 30 minutes, could you do it?
I don't know, but I'd give it a
good run?
I know I'd give it a good run.
You think you get at least 36?
Yeah, I'm confident that I'd get 36.
Okay.
I'm confident.
40?
Maybe.
Yeah. I think I could. In fact,
look at me. Look at this gut. Of course I can.
It's not the gut, buddy. It's the mindset. It's just you got to take a step at a time.
Let me tell you something. There's certain foods that I can eat no matter how
full you are.
Full I am.
The buffalo wings are on there or no?
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah, they are for me.
You know what? I need a little, and this is probably counterproductive I would need a little blue cheese.
A little blue cheese? I don't need it. Yeah, I like the taste of the wings. By the way, this July, every donation there at Bubba's 33 can make an impact. Join them for the Burgers for the Brave event and help them support Homes for Our Troops, our national nonprofit partner. Whether you're dining in or ordering takeout by phone, you're helping them give back with an awesome difference for veterans across the country. Come and enjoy great food, support an incredible cause, and be a part of something bigger all month long at Bubba's 33.
Everybody, David Nuno here from TexAgs, here with some of our new friends from Frog Slayer. We've got the CEO, Ross Morrell, and the VP of Revenue, Jacob Stone. Ross, I want to start off with you. Who is Frog Slayer? What do you all do?
Yeah, Frog Slayer is a custom software, AI and automation company. We're based here in College Station. We've got about 50 employees right here, almost all Aggies. We've been doing this since 2005, about 21 years. Really what we do is we partner with business owners of growing businesses. And our goal is to come in, help them actually realize the promised technology in their company so they can create a company that is worth more than is tomorrow, that is today, and run a better business.
Jacob, I do want to ask you what's different about Frog Slayer's approach when it comes to AI?
Yeah, absolutely. So we don't just do AI, we do AI right. And so what that means is we embed ourselves inside of our client's team, and we help them plan, build, and ship solutions that they can deploy to a production environment that anyone can use.
All right, Ross, I've got to ask you, why the name Frog Slayer?
Yeah, it's an old riff off Mark Twain quote. So he said, the hardest thing you got to do today is eat a frog. It's best to do it first thing in the morning. So that's kind of our ethos of doing hard things first. And it's also a nice tie into gigging.
Yeah, I love that. Jacob, let's close out. Where can we all find Frog Slayer?
Yes, you can find us online at frogslayer.com.
All right, thank you very much to both of you, Ross and Jacob. Check out Frog Slayer.
We're back here on the Holistic Planning Cool Zone on TexAgs Live. He's Olin, I'm David. And I do want to read this text real quick, if you don't mind, because I found it kind of funny. It is from John in Cyprus, and he says, uh-oh, Nuno starting the Reed for Heisman chance early again, JK, LOL.
Well, he said just kidding.
Yeah, but...
Okay, I'll say it. Look, I've always been a big believer in Marcel. And I thought he could be a Heisman contender last year, and I thought he was after the Notre Dame game. And he was. Dennis Dodds, who's not associated with TexAgs and not a, quote, A&M fan by any means, even yesterday pointed out, said he was a Heisman contender until the Texas game. So if Marcel gets a little bit better, maybe he improves his passing percentage from 62% to like 68%. And runs a little bit more to where he's over 600 yards rushing and cuts his interception total in half.
Yeah.
He could be a serious Heisman contender.
Yep. It is time to bank on it, OB, and that is brought to you by our good friends at Vero Bank. Honest questions, genuine advice. Go see Joel Jackson and the team. Learn more at verobank.com. All right, OB, what are you banking on? SEC Media Days edition. Doesn't have to be a coach
probably
quote.
Bank on me asking a question that annoys somebody, Elko probably.
Okay.
Probably bank on David Nuno, maybe not getting into an altercation, but having some kind of issue with the Alabama press contingent. That
happens every year.
Oh, yeah. See,
every year.
So you can bank on it.
Bank on me doing fake phone calls when people want to chat. Bank on me making fun of fake media.
Liucci going out to dinner with somebody like Jordan Rogers or somebody famous.
Bank on me having Cuban food while we're in Tampa. Hopefully you guys join me. How about this? This one will bank on me doing something beyond 9 o'clock at least twice, 9 p.m.
You're going to stay up late, huh?
9 p.m. There's 8 p.m. here, so yeah.
He's going to be burning the candle at both ends. Probably won't go to bed till 10:30.
Ooh, I don't know about that. OB, thank you, buddy.
Yeah, you bet.
All right. Oh, and bank on Nick and Callie and everybody killing it, getting the guest and all of our production value. When we come back, 30 minutes of me. I hope Billy's listening. It's TexAgs Live. We're back here on TexAgs Live. So look, the offseason's over, right? Like today, I feel like it's like, I better get my mind right. Like, I don't know why when I get excited, I go ghetto on you guys.
That's the second time today.
I know. But I got to get my mind right because, you know, movie talk, Pretty Woman and Rocky and like weird science. Those days are done. Okay?
It's time to talk about football season.
Football season.
Media days is upon us.
It is like the beginning for reals, right? Except then we have to wait again, right? Just hurry up and wait after this.
It's media days. It's all this buzz about football. And then, oh, you have 4 more weeks. You got to wait.
Yeah, it bugs me that there's so much waiting in between. But I do think like this is where we turn the calendar, right? We turn the page in the calendar and we're like, all right, like the off season, I try to treat it, I'm a loser and a dork. I try to treat it like a fitness competition, right? Like, hey, like this is not my regular season. This is my fall camp, right? In the summer, just like for the football players. We call it fall camp in the summer.
Yeah.
Right? This is my fall camp. This is Nick's fall camp, your fall camp. Billy's like, this is where we like all the work that we did, all the work with Tommy Moffitt in the offseason, you know, going through all the dumb rankings and what do you call it? The slideshows. Hey, top 5 catches and top 10 this. And we're still going to do some of that. Yeah. But like, this is where it gets for real serious, right? We need to like step up our game. And then by the beginning of September, right? The first game's like September 3rd, September 4th, something like that. Like we better be mid-season form. And then by the mid-season, we better be in championship form. Yeah. And by November, we better close the deal.
There we go.
All right? That's the kind of mindset I want to have on this show. I want to ask a question, all right? Nick, you're involved. Do we want an older team or a younger team in college football?
Older.
Yeah.
Older all day long.
I would say older.
Okay. I would agree with you.
Okay.
Now, this is where it gets interesting. Are you familiar with Roto World?
No,
it's okay.
Roto Wire.
That's the same thing. Roto World is where they work.
Fake media.
It's the building that they work. They call it the Roto World. It's Roto Wire. You're right. I don't even know. All right. They have Texas A&M's modeled average age at. Do you have that in front of you? I can tell you because I got it. I got it.
Are you ready?
Yeah.
20.01.
That's correct. Which is 122nd nationally.
Tied for 122nd with Ball State.
I don't think Ball State's got a chance. 11th in the SEC. The national average, by the way, is 20.32. The SEC average is 20.17. But there's more. I feel like Billy, what's his name, who sells, you guys don't know those infomercials from back in the day. But wait, there's more. I'm going to start reading you teams that are the oldest in college football.
Talking about the OxyClean guy?
Yes.
Billy, what's his name? He like died right after Michael Jackson died.
Yeah, he hit his head or something on an airline.
Billy Mays.
Billy Mays. Great beard. That guy had a beard. Anyway, we're focused, remember? Fall camp.
Fall camp.
I'm going to read you the oldest teams in college football. Okay. Stop me when you find a team. It could be top 3. It could be top 10. I may be reading a while. I may be reading a little bit. Okay? You already know the answer because you're looking at the list.
Yeah.
All right? Nick, I want you to stop me when we get to a team that could win the national championship or make the playoffs.
I haven't seen this, so
good.
This is
ready?
Yep.
UTSA is 1.
Nope.
Okay. Now I'm just going to read through these. North Texas. You stop. I'll read them. You stop me. Yeah. Okay. Utah State, Florida Atlantic, Navy, Oregon State, UAB, Washington State, Air Force, Oklahoma State.
No.
Okay. San Diego State.
No.
Cal.
Nope.
UCF.
Nope.
Fresno State.
Nope.
Michigan State.
Keep going.
Colorado. We're now 16. Kansas, Virginia. Okay, I got one. Baylor.
Nope.
Okay. South Florida.
Nope.
Louisiana Monroe.
Nope.
Stanford.
Nah.
Bruh.
Nah, bruh.
East Carolina.
No, sir.
Okay, we're now on 24. Marshall.
Nada.
New Mexico State.
Mm-mm.
Memphis. Got him.
Nope.
Okay. UCLA. Come on.
Nah.
New coach. Charlotte.
I'm going to go, you're going to get to him at around 35. That's
Did
my
you already
guess.
look at the list?
No, I swear.
Okay.
That's just my guess.
UCLA 27. Okay. Charlotte 28. Okay, I got one that could, but won't. How about this? Nebraska.
That's the best one so far, but no, they don't make the playoffs.
Temple. Come
Nope.
on.
No.
I got one for you. SEC. SEC.
Arkansas.
Yeah.
No.
This one, I think it's the first one.
Yeah, I'd agree.
Without a quarterback, technically. Kind of. Not really. Texas Tech.
Yep. Yeah.
They are a legitimate play.
I think they're the first ones on this list that could be a legitimate contender.
So I ask you why, Rollo Insurance. So, I mean, Indiana was a veteran team that won the national championship.
Yeah.
Okay. I personally, if I'm building a team, want an older, more wise team. That's me personally.
Yeah.
But watch this game. You're going to like this game. I know A&M's 11th in the SEC in age. Okay. Georgia. Their roster, do you have it by any chance? It may take you a second because there's like a billion teams on there. I have the number in front of me.
I have it too.
What is it?
The average age is 19.81.
Isn't everybody talking about Georgia and Texas being the top two teams?
And they are also listed as the last team on this list. So they're 138th on the list.
Oh! Why am I acting weird? Because I'm me. Texas. I'm just curious. What's Texas at?
Let's look it up. Texas. They are tied for 134th with 19.86 as their average age.
Oh, is that right?
Oh.
Okay. I think we're going to. Okay, fine. Another national power. Let me pick one. I'm sure they're super old. 35 probably. Ohio State. Where are they at?
Let's see. Ohio State. They are 128th with average age at 19.95.
Okay. So let me just see if I got this right. The teams that we've talked about being a national power, and I'm going to include A&M in that conversation, seem to be skewing more young this year.
Yeah.
Okay. The teams that are grandpas, UTSA, North Texas, Utah State, okay? And it's not that different, okay? The youngest nationally, we got Georgia, we got UConn, you got Northern Illinois, Texas, and Ohio State, okay? Of the teams I just read, Georgia, Texas, and Ohio State are teams that most people expect to be competing for the playoffs and maybe the national championship, right? So then what do we say about age and what it means? Well, we won't know until the season plays out, right? But I think something to think about is, first off, I like that it's young because that means teams are investing in younger players, right? Mm-hmm. The other thing I think it means is, but what about at other positions? Like if we're talking about at a complete roster of over 100 dudes, it skews younger because like Texas A&M, for instance, they do really well recruiting, getting young guys who wait their time.
Yeah.
Now let's talk about playing experience. And I don't know if Roto-World's got that. I didn't see it on there, but
I have it. I was going to counter. I was going to bring this up whenever you kind of wrapped up your thought. But my counter to this would be, looking at total snaps, experience, returning starters or starts, just like you were getting into. And CBS Sports actually earlier this summer put out an article of the most experienced teams ranked. All right, A&M in total snaps, 7th in the country. Offensive snaps, they are 16th. Defensive snaps, they are 6th in the country. Games played, they rank 7th. And in starts, they rank 7th in the country. So,
please send me that. I want to read that article.
Yeah, one of the more experienced teams, in the country. And that brings up kind of a thought, like, would you rather have an older team of guys that maybe were depth players for 3 years and are finally getting their time in their senior year, or do you want maybe a sophomore or a junior that has started for 2 years, right? Like that's kind of what I feel like we're talking about here.
I don't know what I want, to be honest, because I don't think there's a true formula that guarantees success. Mm-hmm. I think it goes back to a topic from earlier in the week. It's, do you believe in the brand? Do you believe in what Kirby's doing? Do you believe in what Coach Elko's doing in Austin? Do you believe in what Sark is doing, right? Like, I believe it comes down to what Ryan Day is doing. You believe in the system and the way they develop players and are able to pick players. Like that, to me, says more than the age itself. I actually don't know the answer to this. Can you look at what Indiana is? Because I know last year Indiana was, and I think if you look at the last few national champions, they probably skewed older.
Their average age is 20.11. They're tied for 105th.
Okay, so close to A&M.
Yeah,
right?
Very close.
Now, I don't know if Indiana's a playoff team this year. They have a harder schedule. They have a new quarterback. Like there's a lot of things. But when it comes to talking about Texas A&M in particular, when we're talking about Texas A&M in particular, does my quarterback have a lot of experience?
I would say so.
Marcel's got how many starts in the SEC? Like, I mean, 8 last year,
Started
the
all
4 or
last
5 the year
13.
before. 13 starts, okay? So that seems to be high in the SEC. I think Lenore Sellers has got the most. He's got 3 years starting experience in the SEC. I would assume in the SEC, Marcel's second. I don't have that number for sure, but I can't imagine.
Yeah, Lenore Sellers is number 1. He has 16.
Okay. So there you go. Marcel is second. And again, Lenore's didn't have a good year last year, but I think you put Lenore's on a bunch of those other rosters, he would have a great year, right? You put Lenore's on Texas, you put Lenore's on Ohio State, I think he'd do just fine. And by the way, Miami was very interested in him, but he never went in the portal, so there we go. So to kind of wrap up this thought, do you have experience in the positions that matter? And we can go through A&M. I know that Nick gave us what CBS Sports reported, but you got a quarterback who's got experience. You've got a center who's got experience. You've got a running back, Ruben, and I'm going to put Jamari in there.
Yeah.
Played a lot of football last year. He's going to play a lot more this year.
But I would consider him having experience being in that backup role.
Okay. You have a wide receiver, Mario Craver, that is entering his 3rd year in the SEC, 2nd year at Texas A&M, who was very close to 1,000 yards.
Yeah.
ABR played a lot of football last year. Isaiah
we
Horton.
saw all of his top plays just a second ago.
Right?
Yeah.
Isaiah Horton. Okay, that dude not only played at Miami, played at Alabama. So wide receiver, you've got a lot of experience. So I'm setting all that up. I think where you might have some, in the offensive line, they don't have experience together. And that's got to be part of the conversation. They don't have experience together.
Yeah.
But they do have SEC experience.
Yeah.
And young guys that have been coming up the system, however the starting lineup, starting offensive line unit kind of plays out. Tight ends. Richie Anderson's played some football. Houston Thomas has played some football. Now, Houston Thomas has played against SEC teams,
right, but hasn't played out on an SEC school.
Yeah, but I mean, we saw him firsthand. That guy is a player. Yeah. Defensive line. DJ Hicks hasn't been the starter, but he's played a lot of football.
Right.
Okay. Anto Saka's played a lot of football. Damian Sanford played a lot of football last year and developed into a bright young star. You got some other linebackers. We want to see how they develop. Noah McKell seems to be trending in that direction of being a real dude. Secondary. Dalton Brooks has played a lot of football in the SEC. Des Ricks has played a lot of football in the SEC. Ricky Gibson didn't play last year. That has to be part of the conversation, but has played football in the SEC, big boy football at Tennessee, right? You can talk about kicker. You can talk about punter. All the guys have a lot of experience, right?
Yeah.
So what I'm saying to kind of wrap up this thought when it comes to where we are from an experience standpoint, I think if I were to draw it up on the map, I would want my starters to average, I don't know what the age is, 21, 22, whatever that age is, but to skew experience and maturity.
Yeah, I agree. I think right where A&M is in that 20-year-old range, I think that is almost perfect for them to be at. Something that I heard in an interview with a football player, they said that they like Mike Elko because they want to stay on his team and develop. Maybe not be a starter game one, but develop under starters that have that experience. And that's a draw for people to come to Texas A&M because they can develop under Mike Elko and they can see all this SEC experience that the starters have and they can learn under that. So that is something that I think stands apart for Texas A&M.
If I'm asking like what I want for my team, how much SEC experience do my guys have? How many snaps in the SEC? How much college football snaps do they have, right? And then how many snaps do they have here?
Yeah.
How many snaps does Marcel have in this system? Yes, it's Holman Wig. A lot of people love to bring it up. It's a brand new offensive coordinator. Oh my God, chaos. Yeah, it's a question. You don't hear it as much on the defensive side because Coach Elko's the head coach. It is absolutely, I understand the question. I just think that Holman Wiggins was much more involved than people.
I agree. I mean, he was the wide receivers coach last year, and we saw how the wide receiver core did last year. So he was very involved with Marcel, with wide receivers. I think, Holman Wiggins being the OC, he knows a lot more about the offense than I think most people think.
Yep. So, and then the follow-up I'll say is A&M doing a good enough job, and the answer is yes, by the way. I'm going to answer. You can text me on the Catalyst Pure Performance Energy text line or call me up. But is A&M doing a good enough job to earn your trust recruiting great players?
I believe so.
Okay. Is A&M, in your opinion, everybody, Catalyst Pure Performance text line, doing enough of a good job developing players?
I would say yes.
Have they developed on the offensive line under Adam Cushing?
I mean, yeah, but with new transfers coming in, we'll have to see.
But Armage was a transfer, and he certainly became a player. Like Trey Zune, absolutely, through 2 coaching staffs, a couple different offensive line coaches, absolutely did, right?
Mm-hmm.
So we've got a track record of development on the offensive line.
Mm-hmm.
Yes, new cast of characters for sure. You have a track record of a quarterback ascending, right? When Marcel Reed first got here, I don't know how many people thought he'd be your starting quarterback.
Mm-hmm.
And then he became your starting quarterback. And then he won your hearts.
Yeah.
And then he won in Notre Dame. So I'm not giving him the Heisman today, but I think he's earned that trust.
I agree, yeah. I mean, he was in the Heisman conversation last year for a reason, as a first-year starter. So this year we'll have to see. Everybody's been saying that Marcel needs to take the next step. So whatever that looks like for him, I think no doubt he should be in a Heisman conversation this preseason until said otherwise.
So is A&M young because it's rebuilding? Some people think they are. Or young because the next wave is good enough to play immediately? That is part of the question.
Mm-hmm.
And again, to me, the more important point of it all is the experience playing in the SEC. All right, we'll hit a break. We will talk a little bit about what a reset or a reload should look like. It's kind of an extension of this conversation here, but you can text the show or you can call us up at 979-693-1150. When you're looking for real peace of mind, it starts with the right team, and it's about financial reasons. Check out Aggie-owned Paragon Financial Advisors. They're an independent fiduciary firm serving clients all across Texas. No commissions, no sales pitches, just trusted advice tailored to you. They have a team of 18 professionals. They've got 9 CFPs, a CFA, and a CPA, and their expertise does run deep at Paragon. Credentials matter, and so does your future. Visit the website, and you will learn so much about it. It is paragon-adv.com, or call them up 979-693-3907 to schedule your free consultation today. It is Paragon Financial Advisors, integrity, expertise, and trust. Paragon Financial Advisors.
Everyone, David Nuno here for Allen Honda. Had a great conversation with them earlier today. John Allen's the owner. He's been here forever, and also their GM, Rusty Skinner, great guy. Wonderful conversation. They're super local. They're a family-owned dealership, not some massive auto group, and they treat their customers like family because they basically are family. They're Aggie alums. They love Aggie sports, and they've been serving the Brazos Valley with integrity, with passion, and commitment to excellence for over 50 years, which is very rare, by the way, for the independents because people trust them. And that's why they've been doing it for such a long time. Whether you're looking to buy, lease, or service your vehicle, you can count on them for transparent, no pressure experience that puts your needs first. And I can attest to it. Had a great conversation about my own situation with them. Their knowledgeable sales team will help you find the perfect Honda to fit your lifestyle, from fuel-efficient sedans to versatile SUVs. Leasing options are flexible and affordable, making it easy to drive the latest models with confidence. And when it comes to service, their certified technicians only use genuine Honda parts to keep your vehicle running at its best, whether it's routine maintenance for major repairs or whatever it may be. And we know that trust isn't given, it is earned, and that's why generations of local drivers right here in the Brazos Valley and Bryan College Station keep coming back to Allen Honda. As part of the community with Aggie spirit in their hearts, they are here to make everyone's visit wonderful. So visit their showroom or their service lane and find friendly, efficient, and memorable situations when you go to Allen Honda. Come see why so many College Station and Bryan drivers choose Allen Honda for their automotive needs, and remember, gig 'em.
And we are back. It is TexAgs Live. We are presented by David Gardner's Jewelers. We are in the Rollo Insurance Studio. I don't know why I look to you for approval. Like, hey, we in here?
Or we're in the Rollo Insurance Studio?
Yeah. Jason, Jackson, Keith Morgan, and the boys and the girls. Anyway, Gaither, people were talking.
Yes.
And we're responding.
Yeah.
So give me some info.
So, would you like me to read David Edmonds' comment?
I haven't read it yet. You're laughing. Is it something ridiculous?
It's not on.
He's actually been on a good run recently. He hasn't been as ridiculous.
He's been conversational, I would say. But I'm going to read this comment and just see what your response is going to be.
Okay.
So he says, Nuno, I'm going to Vegas in August. I'm going to put $300 on long-term Aggie bets. How would you place the bets on the smallest amount at $100? So $300 on one, $100 on three, or $200 and $100?
I don't understand what the freaking question is. What is he asking me? I don't bet. I don't know.
Would you make 3 $100 bets?
Yes.
2 bets, one of them being $200, the other being $100, or one big $300 bet? That's what he's saying.
No, I mean, I'm conservative. Okay.
Okay.
America. I am very conservative when it comes to my money. Like, I'm not gonna say anything embarrassing about me, but let's just say, like, when I go on vacation, I try to stay with people a lot.
Okay.
That's how I roll, right? Yeah. Hey, can I come stay with you for a couple of nights? Sure. It's 6 of us, and we're bringing our dogs and our bunnies. No, we don't do that. Anyway, what else? There was another one, right?
There was another text from Mike. He said, look at the production total tackles added from Ray Coney and Tafik Bayard compared to the Aggies tackle leaders from last season. It is stunning. So I did a little research. I looked up those numbers. Last year, the total tackles leader was Torian York. He had 72. Marcus Ratcliffe came in second with 66. Now, I looked up Tafik Bayard and Ray Coney's numbers. Tafik Bayard came in at 79 total tackles, and Ray Coney with 128 total tackles last season.
Multiple ways you can look at that.
Multiple ways.
One way is, hey, hot. Big boy football, not the SEC, but big boy football, a lot of experience.
Yeah.
Tackling is tackling, right? So there's that way to look at it. Like, dude, we're getting some production. The other way to look at it is, yeah, but they haven't done it here. Like, can they do it here? And then there's a third way. And you know what the third way to look at it is? What is it?
What is it? You tell me.
You know, we talked about it.
We did?
The Cassius Howell effect.
The Cassius Howell
effect. A football player is a football player, bro.
The development piece.
There's a development piece, and there's a football player. And if they saw something on film that said this person, these guys fit in what we're doing, then I believe, again, it goes back to the brand. I'm a brand ambassador for Mike Elko, right? I want to be an Instagram, YouTube influencer talking about coach, because I do believe. And I've believed before, but I had more questions after a couple years following coaches. Look, I know I'm guilty, guys. I believed in Connor Wegman. I still kind of do.
Yeah.
I kind of do.
Yeah.
Maybe it wasn't the right fit. Maybe he wasn't 100% healthy. Maybe it wasn't the right time for him. I was slow to get off the Connor train. I know. I'm slow sometimes. At least I'm honest.
Yeah.
Right? But with Jimbo, I believed. I covered him the 21 season. And I believed. It was the 22 season where I started doubting. And I started holding on to who he was. And I think who somebody was is a part of a bigger discussion, because who you were, who I was in my 30s, I am not going to probably be physically in my 50s, that I'm going to be 50 here in a couple of months, right? So, but I still think I am. My dad, up until maybe still, by the way, thought he could go in the freaking attic, okay? He's going to be 96 in 2 weeks. And before he had the car accident a couple years back, he was still like playing golf 2 or 3 times a week, driving, couldn't see. It's my fault. I should have taken away the keys. But like, he still thought he was the same guy at 75, 80. And for a while, he was. So with Jimbo, I still believed in the guy who I thought he was. Like sometimes I still think of my dad as that same titan of a man, right? So I am sometimes slow to come off. And I can recognize that about myself. But when it comes to Coach Elko, look, we'll see how it plays out year 3, year 4. Everything is a data point, right? We know more with more games, with more evidence. Just like I think there's many more data points pointing up with Marcel Reed than down. And then you got to look at the down and see the why behind it. And you can make an honest assessment of where we are. I think this year's going to answer a lot more questions. Is he more who we saw at the beginning of the year or most of the year? In fact, 90% of the year? Or is he more the guy we saw at the end of the season? And then the why behind it.
Yeah.
So when it comes to like these questions and about the future, I believe in the development piece that Coach Elko has proven so far. I believe in his coaching acumen. So I'm a brand ambassador for what he's doing when it comes to this team. So if he's and Derek Miller are picking these guys, and this coaching staff went in on these guys, then I'm going to expect certain results. And at the end of the year, we will. I hope we have more evidence to see what. It wasn't just Cassius Howe. It wasn't just Armage. It was now Tafik Bayard. And it was Ray Coney. And it was Ricky Gibson. Like, that's what I'm excited about what this year hopefully will prove.
Do you think this time next year we will be talking about those three guys that you mentioned, Ricky Gibson, Tafik Bayard, and Ray Coney, in the same sense that we are talking about a Cassius Howell that developed coming into
I don't know if
the
we're going to be able to say that all three of those guys are second
Which
round.
one do you think we would be talking about this time next year?
The three names again were
Tafik Bayard, Ray Coney, and Ricky Gibson.
I think Ricky Gibson, if healthy, is the one we're talking about that way.
Yeah.
If healthy, I think so.
I'm going to say Ray Coney
Okay.
because of what we talked about with Cassius Howell and coming into the SEC and just obviously being a high round draft pick. And just, I think Ray Coney is going to be that developmental piece that we'll see.
Write that question down in your notes.
There we go.
And we'll ask William. Okay. I'd like to get William's thoughts on that. And he may, I think typical Billy, if he's listening, I apologize, may give you 9 answers.
Yeah.
But they're really good because then it makes you think, right? So from that list, I would say, if healthy, Ricky Gibson's the one I think that can be the biggest game changer.
Okay.
Tafik Bayard might, but again, there's a lot of competition there too.
Yeah.
So I think that's where I'm at with that. All right, let's do this. Let's hit a break. My buddy Chris Gordy is going to come on the show. iHeartMedia. He'll join us. We'll talk about this with this move, Protect College Sports Act, last-ditch effort to try to get the SEC and Big Ten on board, and also the SEC's Plan B. We'll talk about that. We'll just do rapid fire around the SEC and get his thoughts. Right now, we're talking about Guarantee Bank and Trust. They have over a century experience of serving Texans. They're a Texas bank. They're a community bank. They're a Texas bank. They got 3 locations in College Station. When you do banking with a community bank, you want it to feel like, hey, I'm banking with my people, my neighborhood, my community. And that's what you're going to get at Guarantee Bank and Trust. They are part of this market. They are involved in PTA, football games, see them at the grocery store. They are all a part of this market. And that it doesn't matter where you go in Texas. Those of you listening in Dallas, they got them there. They got them in Houston, Central Texas. They got them in East Texas. So wherever you're banking in Texas, Guarantee Bank and Trust is going to make local decisions to help you out. They want to grow stronger for you. They support financial education, home ownership, local business, and of course, they also help out nonprofit efforts right here in our very own community. It is Guarantee Bank and Trust. 33 locations. Go say hi to Brandon Sears, who runs the team in the Bryan College Station market. The website, gnty.com. That is gnty.com. It is Guarantee Bank and Trust, a division of Glacier Bank, member FDIC, equal housing lender. All right, TexAgs Live. We're waiting on Chris Gordy, iHeartRadio, Locked On SEC. We'll see if we get him here on the show. Back to Dave.
Yes.
Okay. And Dave laughed, and he says, anybody who knows Small Wonder is good in my book. There's a TV show back in the day. At the break, or maybe during the show, Google Small Wonder. I think you'd like it. It's a great show. Okay. About a 12-year-old robot girl who acts like a normal person. But she talks like this. Oh. It's great. It's an awesome show. Okay. Very wholesome family. Anyway, he was asking about the gamble, whatever.
Yes.
The $300. Yeah.
He told you he's going to Vegas. He's going to play some bets, and he asked your opinion.
Bro, I don't know. Like, this is where I lose people in the sports world. I recognize I'm not like you. Mm-hmm. I don't gamble. Mm-hmm. I just don't. We're alike. And I'm not saying there's anything wrong with it. It's just not my thing.
Yeah.
I was joking with Kayla during the break that, like, for me, like, hey, man, let's do a NCAA guys trip to Vegas. That sounds horrible to me. All depressed in a dark casino, ka-zing, ka-zing, ka-zing. Like, no. Like, now, if I made a lot of money, yeah, and thank you to TexAgs, but I'm saying if I was like high roller, I mean it in a good way, like I'm fine. But if I had like money, I would be all for it.
Yeah.
But like, what would I like to do on that trip?
You would like to run a triathlon with your friends.
Yes, I can't look my wife in the face and be like, I'm going to go Vegas to gamble. It's just not me. Like, should be you. Hey, I'm going to Vegas. They're going to gamble, and I'm going to go like do a High Rocks event. I think so. I get it. I'm not like you, but you know where we are alike? We bleed it maroon.
Yes.
Right. That's where we're alike. We like. There's the ups and downs of being an Aggie sports fan and a sports fan in general. Like that's where we're alike. Mm-hmm. None of you guys are. Well, there are some of you. I do hear from some of you that are like me. Yeah, man. I did my run this morning too, bro.
Yeah.
Yeah, man. I do fake phone calls too. Like, there are people like us. Mm-hmm. But anyway, any other chats to get to?
Well, David Edmond followed up on his comment, and he said, I give you $300 and you have to bet on Aggie football. What are you putting the money on? So,
rephrase that again?
He said, I give you $300 and you have to bet on Aggie football. What are you putting the money on? So this was after you just said.
Okay, so I'm not going to, okay. But if Dave, you gave me your $300.
Yeah.
Okay, but I need options.
Okay.
So what are my options, Dave? Or Kayla, if you want, like, does A&M make the playoff? Is that the thing?
So a lot of people in the comments are saying they're going to bet on the over for A&M to go over 8.5 wins.
I'd bet the over.
Okay.
And I'd be scared.
Yeah, I'd be scared too.
Right. Like that schedule is a beast.
Terrifying.
Okay. So I would be, but I think I feel good that they're going to take the over.
Yeah.
I feel good that they're a 9-win team.
I would feel good saying A&M is going to be a 9-win team. I'm going to be nervous down the stretch for that schedule, but I feel confident right now saying that A&M will be over 8.5 wins.
Here's the thing, and keep that schedule up for us. Chris Gordy, you're dead to me. Just kidding. Here's the thing. Do you win the games you're supposed to? And I think we did this exercise before, but let's kind of go through the games that you're supposed to win. Now, I know that Vegas, I don't gamble. I know that Vegas has A&M winning, what was it, 9 of their games, I think? Not that they would win 9 games. I think they're favored in 10 games, if I remember correctly. And Nick can correct me if I'm wrong, but I believe they're favored in 10 games. Okay? So, do they win the games they're supposed to? And by supposed to, I'm not meaning like the games you're favored in because you're at home. I'm saying the games you're supposed to win. Let's figure out that.
Okay.
Missouri State, you're supposed to win. You win. Arizona State, you're supposed to win. You win. Mm-hmm. I'm not going to say you're supposed to win at LSU.
No.
Okay? Arkansas, I think you're supposed to win.
You missed Kentucky.
Sorry. Kentucky, you're supposed to win.
So LSU is the only gamble that we have so far.
Right? Arkansas, yeah, I think you're supposed to win. At Missouri, I think you're supposed to win.
Yeah.
So I'm going to say yes. Mm-hmm. The Citadel, yes, supposed to win. That's 6 wins right now. Mm-hmm. Now, the second half of the schedule, I don't know if there's a supposed to win on there outside of maybe Tennessee. Now, favored, and so, like, again, supposed to win. No-brainer, right? So you got 6 no-brainers. And I think championship teams or teams that make the playoffs or teams that knock on the door of the playoffs typically win those games.
Yeah.
I don't know if, like, for instance, Texas lost to Florida last year on the road. I don't know, even though Florida had a down year and they fired their coach, maybe at the time we had the ability to look in the past and be like, yeah, you're supposed to win that game. It looks terrible that you lost. But at the time, I don't know if I would have said that's a supposed to win.
Well, for Texas last year, with all of the hype that they were getting, I feel like that was a supposed to win game.
Yeah. Term Doc, buddy, I'm about to mute you until baseball season. You're like the anti-World Cup, like I get it. You don't like it. Shut up. Nobody cares. I think I care because I just responded. Derm, you're fired. Mute. I'm doing the button right here. Yeah, you're not allowed to talk on the YouTube page anymore. But I did tell the Grohovic she said hi. Anyway, we were saying what were we talking about?
We were talking about supposed to win games, and I said Texas was supposed to win at Florida last year.
Yeah. Yes, if you're supposed to win a national championship. But I can also look at that and be like, okay. But yeah, we'll give it a supposed.
Okay.
So you have 6 supposed to wins.
Yes, on A&M's.
That, like, if you are that level of team, you're going to win no matter what.
Yeah.
Okay. And then you've got the rest of the schedule. Oh, Chris Gordy's joining us at the end of the segment. Look at that. We've got the Puppy's Catering and Bartending Hotline. Hey, buddy.
It's all right, man.
It's
Putting
all right.
out fires and ahead of our trip to Tampa next week.
All good, brother. How you doing?
Doing good, man. If you got time for a question or two, I'm here.
Yeah, let's do it. Well, and maybe we'll do something. We'll hit a break here and finish out on the end. We'll see what we can get in the next few minutes. All right. What did you make of Ross Dellinger's report this morning? That a couple things that the Protect College Sports Act is rethinking about allowing teams to expand from the group of 6. That's out there as well. And then the SEC saying Plan B might be we just do our own thing.
Yeah, it's all posturing on all sides. I mean, it's crazy when you mix politics in here. You got to understand how politics works. I think Ross does a great job of putting the verbiage in there on how this stuff works. And, they tried to kind of push this thing through in its current form. And it sounds like a lot of folks were not going to vote for it in its current form. So, they're doing the right thing to go back to the SEC and the Big Ten and say, okay, what are the things you want to tweak? And they've sent those in. And yeah, a lot of it makes sense. Like you can't handcuff these conferences to go, no expansion. You guys can't expand at all. It's like, we need to leave that door open at least down the road if that is possible. The other part of this is the pooling of media rights, which does not help the SEC or the Big Ten at all. They spent so much time and effort into building these billion-dollar TV contracts. Why in the world would they ever want to pool all that stuff together and make less money? It's just stupid. All to help the Mountain West or the little dogs. So, and again, the SEC just keeps threatening, right? They keep saying, like, if you guys don't listen to us, we're going to go off and do our own thing. So it all makes sense, but I do think it does sound like some concessions are starting to come back from the original proposed deal with Ted Cruz and Maria Cantwell. And, again, the SEC is just looking for things that behoove them and the Big Ten in here. They're not asking for special treatment. They just want certain protections in here that everybody can agree with.
Couple follow-ups to that. Do you think because the Ted Cruz and Cantwell are willing to listen to the SEC and Big Ten, that this now gives the bill a better shot at getting their approval? Or do you still think this is posturing?
Yeah, no, I think everybody is on the same page here of like they want this thing to pass sooner rather than later. So I think it sounds like the crew is willing to make concessions to make those changes to get this thing passed. What's fascinating is the window here. It sounds like they take off a month coming up in August, so they want to kind of fast track this thing. So I would not be shocked at all if Ted Cruz, because again, Ted Cruz tried to do the thing where he turned his back and went, "Oh, we're just going to try to pass it." And then when he saw he had not much support to pass it in its current form, I think that's why they're coming back to the table and going, okay, let's see if we can get these other schools on board. Because look, when you talk about the SEC and the Big Ten, all the states that they encompass, that's a lot of big states with a lot of power. So they got to have those folks. And again, I'm not a political expert. I don't know how it all works, but like the senators and the people in DC, like to get them on board to vote for this, they got to have the okay from their schools and their schools to go, okay, we're good. And the schools are only going to say we're good if the conference says we're good. So if Greg Sankey and Tony Petitti give the thumbs up and go, all right, we like this bill in its current form, but Yeah, I mean, from what I've been reading, I'd say it's still got a 50-50 chance of passing within the next month or so if they make the changes that the SEC and Big Ten want.
Gordy, do you believe that the SEC is actually really thinking about, we'll just do our own thing?
No, because it's too much. There's too much involved. I've said, like, if they were going to do it in football only, remain a member of the NCAA in basketball and baseball. I mean, because it's way too hard to try to create your own thing. I mean, the NCAA tournament, Omaha, all that stuff on the table. Like, can you imagine doing away with all that? Just having a track and field championship when it's just the SEC teams. It's just, there's way too much involved with that. Now, again, if there's a world where they could pull off and do just football independently and the SEC and Big Ten play each other and they crown a champion, the college football playoff could follow them. I mean, nothing with the college football playoff says we're associated with the NCAA. They're their own thing. So there is a world there, but I just don't think it's going to happen. I think at the end of the day, the SEC will play nice and they will end up agreeing. But again, they want a deal that makes sense for them, and they want guardrails, right? They want to have rules that everybody can follow here because, as we know, the last year plus, it's been the wild, wild west.
On a newspaper, Gordy, there's like the top left is like the most important for those folks who know what a newspaper is. The top left is like the A story, right? And then you kind of bury the B story in the bottom part of the page. I'm looking at your setup there, and to your right shoulder, I see the University of Texas hat next to Alabama. I see on your left shoulder down low, Reveille. I think we should probably flip that. I just think we should flip. And I don't see LSU, which is surprising.
That's an LSU championship poster up there. So there's that. But yeah,
in the 1980s.
And I change out the hats. We used to have one of our hat sponsors send me like hats for every school, so we change them out from time to time. But yeah, you gotta represent. It's fun. It's so funny, David. I know I'm doing a good job when I get comments who are like from Aggie fans who are like, he's a Texas homer, and then Texas fans who are like, he's just an Aggie lover. So I know I'm doing a good job when I'm getting equal hate from both sides.
Yeah, I don't see you go one. I think you just call it the way you see it, Gordy. Let me ask you this: outside of this, what are the big storylines next week in Tampa you're looking for?
Yeah, I mean, look, I'm really curious to see, like, the biggest storyline. People are asking me, like, if you could hear from one coach. I mean, I want to hear from Lane Kiffin, particularly because I don't think people realize this. Since Lane took that job, remember he did the interview with Marty Smith on the tarmac at the airport. Since then, he's only spoken with the media like 4 or 5 times, and it's all been with LSU media. It's been, his introductory press conference. It's been the spring meetings. He is not done a presser in front of national media, Ole Miss media. So next week is going to be the first time Lane is going to have to face the music with some really tough questions that I think he's going to get from Ole Miss media, from national folks and all that. And so that to me is very intriguing in how he answers all those questions. I was a little frustrated that they didn't bring Sam Levitt. I think that's a real missed opportunity for LSU to bring the guy that's going to be the face of their team this year. But, I mean, on the flip side, what's the other big storyline? It's Arch Mania. I mean, it's weird, too, that the SEC put Texas last in pod on Thursday. Like, as you know, Media Days, like Thursday is like the getaway day. Everybody's packing up and getting the hell out of there and all that. To have Steve Sarkisian hitting the podium at 2 p.m. on Thursday is crazy to me because I think you're going to have more media than ever stay late because they want to hear from Arch Manning. They want to hear from Sark. And oh, by the way, the 3 guys that Texas is bringing, I saw a mock draft that has all 3 guys going top 15, Trevor Gooseby, Colin Simmons, and Arch Manning. So pretty good list that they're bringing. And by the way, I like A&M's list too. I think Damian Sanford coming is awesome.
Gordy, I appreciate it, brother. We'll see you next week.
All right, thanks, David. Appreciate it, man.
Later, man. Chris Gordy on the Bumpy's Catering and Bartending Hotline, Locked On SEC, iHeartRadio, does it all. We'll hit a break. We'll come back with a fake 22-second segment, right? Yeah, that's what we'll do. Milliken Reserve Time, part of the table community in College Station. They got homes, they got trails, they got farms, they got wide open spaces, and they have a mission to build a healthy community around nature. If you haven't been to Milliken Reserve recently, you're missing out. If you've never been, you're missing out. If you're driving in from Houston, as you pass Navasota, look on your left-hand side. If you're leaving College Station, look on your left-hand side, because that's how we drive. Anyway, you'll see it, right? It's awesome. I'm saying going on Wellburn, if you're going that way. Anyway, it's a beautiful community. You go out there, you can hike, you can bike, you can kayak, you can canoe, you can do yoga, you can do judo. You can do some judo out there. You can do whatever you want. Just enjoy being outdoor with your family, and with each other. Check it out at MillikenReserve.com. That website again, MillikenReserve.com. As a reminder, the final segment of the program is brought to you by Double Dave's. That's at 10:50. But right now, caller number 12, 979-693-1150. We're going to hook you up with your choice of a dozen pepperoni rolls or a large one-topping pizza from Double Dave's. They've been serving Aggieland since 1984 with your favorite pizza and, of course, those world-famous pepperoni rolls. Reliable in-house delivery, bringing piping hot goodness straight to your door. Just click on doubledaves.com, and your favorites are on their way. Let's go to the Angry Elephant News and Social Center, find out what's popping on TexAgs today.
Before I get into what is on TexAgs today, I just want to reiterate it's never a better time to be a TexAgs premium subscriber. You can get all the news and information ahead of SEC Media Days and football season coming up. But on TexAgs today, we have Olin's article about hoping for a quotable media days presented by BCH Insurance. And then I put out an article as well about the softball transfer portal. There are 7 new faces, so if you want, you can read all about it. Fresh Corn Q&A with Brawny. We have a Dennis Dodd interview from yesterday. McGee's segment from yesterday presented by Paragon Financial. Later today, we have Jason Howell's 3 Things on the site and a full Lunch with Liucci interview from today's show presented by the 12th Man Foundation.
Great stuff. Thank you very much, Caleb. All right, we'll hit a break. We'll come back. I think Billy Liucci will be here.
I think so too.
You know what? I'm banking on him walking in the first 30 seconds, at least, maybe even before.
That's something good to bet.
I
Dave
have not
Edmonds
heard from
money
him,
on.
So I might be making this up, but I have belief. It's TexAgs Live.
And we're back. It is TexAgs Live. Hey, guys.
You can
We're
hear him.
Huh?
You can hear him now.
Could you hear me on your mic?
No.
I did say mother trucker.
Yeah,
which,
not the word that Richard used a couple months
No,
back.
I try not. He said it on the air?
No,
Oh.
not on this air.
Not on this air. No. We are TexAgs Live. Sometimes I'm wrong. We're presented by David Gardner's Jewelers. We're in the Rollo Insurance Studio. Remember how my chair moved like that? And got a couple things to talk about. We are going to check in with Kayla Gaither in a moment. But
You
I
went
do
gangster on us again.
look.
It's gangster.
You know what I think it
Friday.
is? You know what I think it is?
What?
I think my coffee routine is out of whack. I go through these phases where I'm drinking very little coffee, and then I build, and then I realize, dude, I just had like 3 cups during the show. Like, I like to have 2 cups of half calf. Okay, nerd alert. Half calf before the show.
Okay.
So I wake up at 4:40, 4:30 today. 2 cups of half calf.
Okay.
Okay.
So does that make a full cup of full?
Yes,
calf?
I like to have more coffee. Okay, but we don't do half calf here. Okay, gotta complain to Josh. But so I do 2 cups of half calf. Show prep, get the show ready. If there's time, I do a run in the morning. Okay, shower, come to work. Then I wait till 8:20 to have a cup of coffee. But what happens when you're doing a talk show? I hate cold coffee.
Oh.
Okay, so I'll drink like 2 or 3 sips, and then and I throw it away, and I get another cup. But then I reset the total. So like the milligrams, I'm trying to keep them at 350. I think I'm at 400.
I think you're going over.
Yeah, thanks. Anyway, we're going to talk a lot of college football. I told you it's fall camp for us. If you're looking for real peace of mind when it comes to your money, check out Aggie-owned Paragon Financial Advisors, an independent fiduciary serving clients all across Texas. No sales pitches, no commissions, just honest financial planning and investment management. And what sets them apart is the over 9 CFPs, the CFA, and the CPA on staff. They take their credentials seriously, and they work tirelessly to help you build a future that you can feel good about. Go to paragon-adv.com or give them a call, 979-693-3907, to schedule your free consultation today. It is Paragon Financial Advisors, integrity, expertise, and trust. Paragon Financial Advisors. And by the way, they are our presenting sponsor of our SEC Media Day coverage. So we appreciate Paragon doing that. Now, as Billy gets his mic on, I want you to reset the question you asked to me.
Okay.
And then we will see if Billy has an answer. I mean, of course he'll have an answer. He'll probably have several answers. So here we go. We go back to the Angry Elephant News and Social Center, and the Kayla Gaither has the question.
Okay, so the question I asked David was, who do you think we will be talking about next year out of these 3 names between Ricky Gibson, Tafik Bayard, and Ray Coney?
Basically in a Cassius Howell kind of way, I think is how you phrased it to me.
Kind of way, how Cassius Howell came in with not any SEC experience, came in, was developed, and had a standout year. Who do you think we'll be talking about in that light out of those 3 players?
Well, I think in the case of who was the middle one, it was Gibson,
Tafik Bayard,
Tafik,
Ray Coney, and Ricky Gibson.
Coney. I think.
And if we need to add a different name to it,
I would take Gibson out of it for a couple reasons. Number one, he started at Tennessee in the SEC, so I wouldn't include him with Cassius. The other thing I would put in is Cassius had a solid first year, but what a lot of people remember Cassius for, obviously, is what he did this past year. So we're looking for a 1-year impact out of those
is that like a KC?
Guys in particular. So you're kind of like, yeah, who would have more of a KC or a Craver, like year one, but then you're talking about guys that came from the ACC and the SEC. So if you're just talking about let's keep it to a smaller school player that you think could come in and have an impact. Year one, I think that's what they're probably asking, right? I really like Coney. It's not a deep linebacking core, so he's going to be able to play. It's soon to be deep. It's not there yet. So, you look at Sanford coming back, and then you look at the rest of that position. You see Sanford, you see Noah McHale. There's not a lot of proven depth. Lockhart's played some. Those are kind of your top 3 in terms of experience, and 2 of them don't have much. So you could definitely see Coney, I think, playing the clearest path to playing the most out of that bunch. But I really like what I see from Tawfiq Bayard.
Yeah.
And it's tough in that secondary. You look at Ratcliffe and Brooks, just two of your captains back there starting at safety. And then you've got, other experience. You've got Bryce Anderson, who's played a ton of football as safety nickel. So you got Jordan Shaw as nickel. So it's crowded in that area back there. But I really think that Miles Davis is going into year 3. But there's something about him, the way he tackles, kind of what I see from him instinctively. It just that kind of jumps out at me when I'm watching him. Now they didn't bring. I'm trying to think if they brought in. Oh, here's the other one. I would say this is tough because we don't talk enough about tight end, where Richie Anderson's coming from Fresno and Houston Thomas from UTSA. We don't consider Houston Thomas because he's from here. We've known who he is but he's still coming up from UTSA to A&M.
Yep.
So the tight end position as a whole is one of those that I would keep a close eye on because I think those guys are going to be pretty impactful. They have to be, honestly. And if those two aren't, then you're just going to see less tight ends on the field. I'm not saying there's no other ones on campus, but you brought them in for impact this year to help with that. Keati Armstrong is only going into year 2. He's a year removed from being a true freshman. So you're just trying to bridge that gap, and they have to be impactful. So the other guy too, no one ever talks about. My 2, honestly, would probably be Tawfiq and Ryan Henderson.
Okay. Yeah, right.
I think he is close. He's not Cassius in that. I'm not saying he's going to lead the SEC in sacks a year from now, but he is a guy from a smaller level that I think they were excited about when they got him, and after seeing him in the spring and the offseason, coaches, players, teammates, everything are even more excited about him after seeing what he's about and what he can do.
2 things to chew on. First off, I think Anto Shaka comes from the Big Ten, so we sometimes disregard, but he did play at Northwestern, but he played big boy football. So
it's who you're playing against, right? Yeah.
But he is somebody that, we're talking about Cassius levels. Hopefully he can kind of turn into that. The other thing is, I think for me, I want it to almost feel more like an Armaje Reed Adams year 1. Is there somebody on the offensive line that you're like, oh yeah, this guy, and I guess that's TBD because there's a lot of young players that could
better
play.
Be 3 of them.
Well, yeah, this is true.
I don't think all 4 will start. I just think there's enough depth that's 1 or 2 of these younger guys are really going to hit an acceleration curve, and some of them showed signs of that in the spring. Think of a guy like Lamont Rogers in particular, but then Robbie Bourdon, Blake Ivy now in year 3. Ivy's going to compete to start at one of the guard spots, but you think about Tyler Thomas. So there are guys that are they're close to being ready to really push, and there's several of them. So, but I think Formby, that shouldn't be a shock.
Right.
He took him from Alabama where he started, and I think the one people sleep on a little bit because he actually wasn't full time like Formby and Tyree is Trevon Ball, and I think he really did a lot in the spring to where I think if the season started today, he'd be one of your 5, and he'd be sitting there at left guard replacing a 2nd round draft pick in Chase Basantes.
We haven't spoken since the SEC Media Day list came out, but I think Damian Sanford going probably didn't shock you, but I think to me, again, Elko could be playing chess while everybody's playing checkers, but to me it says exactly what you reported early on. He's a lot closer than people think.
No, yeah, and that's that kind of stuff frustrates me because I say it, and it's like people don't want to believe because they want to believe almost like the negative. And from day 1, it wasn't this.
You said that
half a season. It wasn't. Will he ever play again? Not from day 1 when the doctors and coaches and Sanford knew the injury. Elko's not the type that's going to put a date on it that far out because 2 things. He doesn't want to create false hope within the fan base, but more importantly, he doesn't want to put pressure on his player or the player's family. or the trainers or anybody to say, okay, here's a date. We need him back by then. We need him. That's part of a plan, but you don't announce a plan. And sometimes, if it doesn't stick to that plan, it's okay. But in this case, I don't think there was ever like a ton of concern once they got him off the field and recognized what the injury was and post-surgery. It was like, he'll be back, and he'll be back much sooner than everyone. And it was disappointing to see how much people raced to report that. And we're in this time period here where it does feel like there is some, I've got to beat TexAgs or Billy to the, and it's like this tripping over each other. And the national people do the same thing because they're trying to cover 130 schools of spring training injuries.
Yeah.
It's not their fault, but you're trying to do something where you're spread way too thin. Okay, I'm going to rely on the agent. Okay, well, who's the agent? How honest are they? How knowledgeable are they? How full of bleep are they? What's their incentive and ulterior motive? You have to sift through that in 130 schools of player injuries. No, go to the source, go to what's closest. And if you had been listening, you'd know that this wasn't going to be some major long-term thing. But I don't know exactly when he'll be back, but I think it'll be plenty soon.
Well,
I mean, plenty soon.
I compared it to Jabri Barber a couple years, 2 years ago, where like everybody thought he was out at least half the season.
Yeah.
Then Elko was like, no, a little bit closer timeline, and he wasn't ready week 1, but he started playing. What was it, week 2 or week 3?
And I think the goal when it first happened, what I had heard from sources, just random, was that I think it was like the Arkansas game was kind of the target date, and he came back like 2 weeks before that.
Yep. And by the Arkansas game, he was playing closer to the level we expected because it was a little bit of a ramp.
I mean, well, we saw him against who did he get hurt against? Or was it in camp?
It was in camp. Yeah.
Or no, it was in the off season. We saw him against. Well, I mean, hell, he scored a touchdown against Florida.
Yeah,
and that was game 3.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it was game 3. He scored a touchdown in that one. So I think he was playing, like you said, in game 2 against McNeese, maybe. So anyway.
Moving on, you saw the Ross Dellinger tweets in the report this morning, or no?
No.
Okay. Well, he is reporting that the Protect College Sports Act is now rethinking some of their things, Cantwell and Cruz, and now they are open to allowing group of 6 teams to move into the Power 4 conferences. That was a big sticking point for the SEC. More changes are expected to get both the SEC and Big Ten involved. But the other thing that he reported was that the SEC's got a plan B, self-governing model that with the league enforcing its own rules. So the SEC is like, look, we don't have to play this game. We can do our own game.
Yeah.
I personally don't believe they really mean it. I think it's just the SEC showing we can do this if we need to.
Yeah, which also
we don't
means
want
the Big
to.
Ten can do it, which screws up everything for this plan.
Your thoughts on, I mean, Gordy was on the show for a few minutes earlier, and he thinks now with this, there's actually a 50-50 chance that the Protect College Sports Act does pass. And I still don't believe it will, but what do you think?
I don't think it. Maybe, but not anywhere what it looks like today. I mean, so yeah, if it passes, but it's not even the same act as it is today. Are we saying it passed, or are we just saying they?
I don't think it will, because they have to. So there's going to be that month recess in August, so they have to get it done in the next 2 to 3 weeks.
Yeah.
And then there's that month recess, and then when they come back, they have bigger things to worry about than college football. So I personally don't think it'll get done this year.
I don't think. I never have thought it will get done. And if it does ever get done, it's literally going to be because it looks nothing like the original one. Like the SEC and the Big Ten are just not going to accept so much of that bill, which is why you see team after team. A&M did it with Texas a few weeks ago, now, which we broke that story too. But time after time after time, now you're seeing team after team after team come out similarly against it, and it's just. There's too much against it. It's good in some areas. In some areas, it just makes no sense for the major college. And it's very almost like, not to go political, but it's like socialism, really. I mean, it truly is. It's just like there's just so many. It's so much giving from the haves and from the haves to the have-nots just to keep them afloat when in these TV contracts where they're bringing like quite literally nothing to the table between, it just, the whole thing doesn't work. And that's why you're seeing the major conferences say, no, why? That's not fair to us. That's not fair. It inhibits and limits us, and why?
It almost feels like they sped through. Like all right, here's a plan. Boom. And they didn't consider all the parties. They just considered, hey, let's help the little guys in this.
Well, I think the people they were listening to and getting it done were too slanted towards the little guys.
Well, and one of those little guys is actually a big guy, but in a little guy pond, and that would be Texas Tech, who really pushed for this.
For sure. And they also pushed for support from Ken Paxton, didn't they?
Yeah, and then the next day, Ken Paxton came out and said what he said.
Yeah.
All right, we'll hit a break. We'll come back. I want to ask you a question on the other side. What reveals A&M is during the season, right? Reveals, is this a reset or a reload? All right. We'll talk about that on the other side. Right now, a moment for Caldwell Country Chevrolet, Highway 21 in Caldwell, online at CaldwellCountryChevrolet.com. Your trade-in's got value, and at Caldwell Country Chevrolet, they're ready to put that equity to work for you. They have a pre-inventory that moves super fast. So that means that they're looking to find quality vehicles to add to their lot, which means they're ready to deal for you. Bring in what you got and let their experienced sales team show you what it's worth. They have a combined experience of decades, right? And they want to structure a deal for you that makes sense for you and your family. No games, no gimmicks, just honest deals from people who treat you like family. That's the Caldwell Country Chevrolet. Remember, it's a 15-minute drive, the edge of Bryan to the beginnings of Caldwell. Short conversation away, but you'll see the difference when you step on the lot and do business with the good people at Caldwell Country Chevrolet. Highway 21 in Caldwell, online, CaldwellCountryChevrolet.com. And we're back. TexAgs Live. We've got a short segment here because Billy's got to get going. We'll try to get him on the phone as he heads out. Billy, I want to talk to you about what reveals whether A&M this year is a reset or a reload, right?
Okay.
Because like, for a lot of teams, like Georgia, Alabama back in the day, they don't have to reset. They don't have to rebuild. They reload, right?
Yeah.
And in today's world of college football, where half the roster's turning over for just about everybody, right? Significant changes in roster. Is there something that you'll see early on, midway through, that'll reveal to you this is a reload or a reset?
Early in the season?
Early, and then maybe as we go on, too.
I'll just tell you right now, as simple as I can put it, you watch the line of scrimmage. That's it.
Yeah.
Both
sides.
How many draft picks you lose? I'm going to guess 7. Yeah. 4 O-linemen, Regis, Onyedem, Howell. You lost 7 draft picks at the line of scrimmage. There's no better way to decide if this is a rebuild or a reload than how well the offensive and defensive lines are playing. So I think you'll know by the end of September how this whole season's going. You don't know the exact record, but like if you said, man, they've reloaded or they're rebuilding, and they're going to take a step back versus they reloaded, they're a playoff contender. Watch them versus this team at the end of September, and the week before against Kentucky, who's not going to be world beaters, but they got a new coach and they did a lot of portal damage. They've got a quarterback who can play in Minchie, who almost won that Notre Dame job. And then look at how they play against Arizona State, who's a good program under Dillingham. And again, I'm not saying like ASU would struggle in the SEC this year. They would be towards the bottom end. But they also added some nice portal pieces.
They did really well.
They lost a lot. They did a lot in the portal. They're going to be a bit of an unknown early in the season.
And let me add this about Arizona State. People forget in that first year with Kenny Dillingham, they were expected to finish last in the Big 12. They won the Big 12. They went and they took Texas to the wire. It was a good game against Texas.
And again, they had Scadaboo and they had Levitt and they had a first-round left tackle and they had Jordan Tyson. They had a lot of dudes. Now, did Tyson play against Texas? I don't think he did. But anyway, point being, this team I don't think will be as good as that Arizona State team, but they're still going to be, I think, an upper echelon Big 12 team. So my point is saying all that is, how do you play against ASU, Kentucky, and Texas? LSU, Freudian slip there. That's an even bigger one. But those 3, how do you play in those games in September? And if you look really good at the line of scrimmage and you're stopping the run and you're getting after the quarterback and you've got a run game and you're protecting Marcel, you're going, man, this is month 1, weeks, 2, 3, and 4, or 2, 4, and 5, 2, 3, and 5, whatever it is. This is month 1, and we're doing this. And after LSU, we've got, Arkansas coming in, and then Missouri, I think.
Missouri on the road, yep.
It's like, man, you still have some time to get better. So if that's what you look like in September, and it's a reloading year. If you're struggling, win or lose, and you're kind of sneaking by against Arizona State and Kentucky, and you go down to Baton Rouge and you're like, damn, maybe you lose that game because you can't block or because you can't run or because they run the ball all over you. Levitt has all day, whatever those things are. You're like, man, this line of scrimmage could be an issue. They lost too much in 1 year. Like, damn, we love what they've got in the lower classes and what they're recruiting, but I don't see that. I just think with guys like we talked about, Saka, Henderson, Mims, you've added a couple other D tackles that you feel really good about. Hicks, Rink, Sanders. I'm a veteran who came in here looking like he's ready to play a couple weeks ago. 6'5", 260, and TJ Searcy, who's played a lot of SEC football. There's a lot. There are Marco Jones. Maybe as exciting as any of them. So that's just defense. We talked to O-line earlier. Portal, bring back all of your depth that should be pushing to play. I don't think it's going to be the rebuilding side of that. I think they took the necessary steps. They signed 3 portal D tackles. They signed now correct me if I'm wrong here, 2 portal DNs, and they signed 4 portal linemen. That's 9 portal linemen to keep this from happening. It's exactly why they did what they did. So this conversation of, do you want to reload or do you want to rebuild? And they said, we're going to reload, because in 2026 in the SEC, college football, NIL, and all the money you're asking from donors and all the money the coaches are making and the players are making, quite frankly, rebuilding is not an option for these power programs. And so it happens, but you're going to do everything you can to keep that from happening.
Well, to borrow the topic from earlier in the show, also, do you believe in the guys that are evaluating the talent that we bring in here? So far in 2 seasons, Derek Miller, Elko, and the rest of that staff have done an excellent job identifying transfer portal guys, some we didn't know much about.
Can we say, I'm going to be wrong on this with some, but let's just say they had 6 portal guys drafted.
That's right.
They've had Jabri Barber, who you picked out of the portal. He left because there was so much depth, but you picked him and you found a draft pick out of Louisiana Tech. But who was it? It was, and that doesn't even count Scooby, who, if he'd been healthy, he proved to be a player. So Scooby, Will Lee, Reed Adams, Cassius. Who else out of the portal got drafted?
You said T.O., Tyler
Onyedem, 1 year.
Nate Borkature,
2nd round pick.
Cassius Howell,
named him.
Will Lee, we said him.
6,
from,
and Casey.
Casey.
So there were 6 of them, right? Now, and Jabri, who you identified and said that guys. So there are really 7. Now this year, I think Des Ricks gets drafted. I think Ricky Gibson is projected as a draft pick. I think C.J. Mims gets there. And I'm just saying, guys, there's a couple that could play longer and get there. That's probably too early to tell on the tight end. Anto Saka, Isaiah Horton, Wilkin Formby. If I cut it off there, I'm leaving out like Byard and Coney and 3 other offensive linemen. And I know people are telling me they think Ball can go. But I'm already up to there's going to be at least a dozen, I think, drafted that A&M went through the portal to get in 2 years. So, they definitely have shown you that they can do it, and you should have faith in it.
All right, let's hit a break here. We'll call Billy on the other side, talk to him for a few minutes before he has to get leaving. Right now, when you're craving authentic Italian food, there's one place to go that brings the tradition, the flavor, and all the family goodies together. They are? They're coming in? All right, Fratella Italian Cafe. They're a family-owned favorite. They serve fresh, homemade dishes every day. They use recipes passed down through generations, like their signature Fratella, which is delish, fried golden perfection stuffed with marinara, mozzarella, and your choice of fillings. They've got lasagna. I love lasagna. Beef cannelloni, fettuccine alfredo, crispy pizza from their Fratella Copper Dome Pizza Oven. Stop in for daily lunch specials or let Fratella cater your next event. It is Fratella Italian Cafe on South Texas Avenue in Bryan. More than a meal, it's a tradition. It's Fratella. Straight to the Buppy's Catering and Bartending Hotline. Billy Liucci joining us for a couple minutes. Billy, here's something I forgot to ask you earlier. I like to read into things sometimes, so if you want to get mad at me, I understand. But when we played a clip from Marcel earlier in the week when he interviewed with the D1 guys at the place he's training at in Nashville, he was talking about all his weapons, and he also threw in Aaron Gregory. And I just think that speaks volumes for how this young freshman has stood out so far.
Oh, no question. I think you're right. Like when the quarterback's saying it, right? But yeah, no, Aaron Gregory has been. I was talking about this with somebody yesterday, just a buddy of mine who's, he's attended a couple practices, and he's just like, golly, man, number 3. I'm like, yeah, Aaron Gregory. He's like, he said the day I went out there, he was talking about spring, and just said he caught about 12 passes, it felt like. It just was everywhere. And like the short ones turning into long. And here's the thing. He's a highlight reel waiting to happen, but he moves so incredibly well for a guy with his height and length. Like the quickness, the route running, the coming out of his breaks, and in the hands, and like the catch radius, and I don't know, like spatial awareness, just kind of where he's at in regards to the defender and how to go up and get it, put his body in the best position. He's got a lot of traits of a lot of like really good A&M receivers. Like you can see some Mike Evans in him. You see some. I mean, to me, what I see a lot of, but I think he's going to be like, you see a lot of Josh Reynolds, but I think what you see a lot of Josh Reynolds, but you see a lot of like Josh Reynolds when he was getting ready to go to the NFL. So I don't know what that means for his season, like who you go compare him to, from there, because if he's playing, I'm not saying from this season he's going to play like Josh Reynolds. He is going to make some Josh Reynolds type catches and some Mike Evans type catches. But if he's that polished and that capable as a true freshman, you remember Josh went the JC route and really developed. He's one of the all-time great developmental stories from high school through his pro career, like, as far as Aggies go. I'd put him up there with the Michael Bennett, Terrence Murphy. But Murphy was different, though, because he was just, the only reason Murphy wasn't there is because he just played quarterback, and you moved him to receiver, so there was a learning curve. But Josh just kept getting better and better. But I think Aaron Gregory, if Aaron Gregory just keeps getting better and better, what does that mean? What does that mean?
Billy, I want to ask you about Clayton Freshcorn before you have to get going. I know Bronny had the exclusive sit-down with him earlier in the week. We knew this was a possibility. Then it seemed like it may not happen. Now it's happening. What that means for that rotation next year?
Man, that changes everything, obviously. I mean, you're trying to develop a weekend rotation. And here's a guy who, what he showed you against USC, and remember, he has starting experience prior, and what he showed you against USC, and then to go in the draft, get drafted, and decide to come back, like, there's one of your weekend starters. And you've got Aiden Sims and people that are worried about that. That was not Tommy John or anything. That was just a season-ending injury that they had to go clean up. But like, he's going to be Aiden Sims, and hopefully better Aiden Sims, with better pitching coach, or and better development there. So when you can look today at your rotation and go, okay, we got Freshcorn and Sims to start, you already feel so much better. And that dude, the other thing about Freshcorn, he's so competitive, he's so tough mentally, and just such, I feel like he's just such a core piece of that locker room, that clubhouse, and that team. That is big in more ways than one, but man, what it does for your pitching staff is unreal.
Billy, I know you got to get going. Thanks, man. We'll talk to you Monday at SEC Media Days in Tampa.
All right, buddy.
See you, man. Billy Liucci there on the Buppy's Catering and Bartending Hotline. Appreciate his time. All right, we got a couple minutes in this segment, then we'll close out the show. I wanted to get into, and you guys can pipe in on this, Dabo Swinney. You know how I told you earlier, you guys too. I told her, but it was for everybody. I'm late to jump off, like, the train on somebody sometimes. Yeah. Like, I was late on Connor. I wasn't so late on Jimbo, but, you know, I knew it didn't make financial sense to get rid of him after 22, even though I thought, maybe, right? Like, but it's not my money, right? It ain't my money. But I have jumped off the Dabo train.
Yeah.
But I want to jump back on the train. I'm not jumping back on. Like, I'm not making that, but
you're on the way to the train?
No, maybe? I'm not even on the way to the train. Okay. I'm not going to the train. I wish the train were an option.
Okay.
It's more that. I wish a lot. There's three schools of thought, but I think there's two schools of thought. A lot of people find him to be phony. I don't. Okay. A lot of people don't like Dabo. I like him. Okay? I think he seems like the kind of college football coach I'd want my kids to play for.
Yeah.
Same with Mike Elko, right? Like, the kind of, like, I like that part of him. It does feel like he won 20 years ago, and it really wasn't that long ago.
Yeah.
Okay? But in today's college football, 5 years is, I mean, think about the 2020 season. How long ago was that, right?
Felt like ages ago.
But he's got opinions on the state of college football. Hey, Dabo might not be a bad guy to talk to for your fake commissioner of college football, but he talked a lot about tampering and transfer portal yesterday, and he talks about two different things. And here's what he says on tampering. To this point, it's rampant because there hasn't been consequences. I don't know that there's been much fear of consequences. We've got to get some in order. The only way that happens is if these guys, the 5 families in the mafia, get together and like, hey, this is what we're going to do moving forward. But they're not going to. He's also pointed out to others having financial penalties and suspensions, firings, and contracts. He says there needs to be some consequences, or you'll say to heck with it. Don't worry about it and call it what it is, the wild, wild west. He's right. And remember, Clemson is involved in this tampering issue, which I think they're still waiting on Ole Miss's recruitment of the linebacker, Luke Farrelly, who I think was on campus getting text messages, if I remember the story correctly, from Lane Kiffin. He says on portal recruiting, you meet a guy at 9:30 on a Monday night, and he gets married at 11 a.m. the next day. All right. It's like Elvis. You're in the wedding chapel, and you hope it's going to last forever. He also described the portal as a resource, not the primary source of Clemson's roster. Remember, they added 11 people, which is not the way they like to do. I mean, that's a lot for Clemson.
Yeah.
Right? They've lost people, but they don't like to bring in 11. How many portal additions does A&M have? How many portal additions? If you can do a quick Google search of SEC team portal additions in 2026, I mean, I think A&M is at 40, 30? I don't know. Maybe it's not that much. New additions is I think the what I'm looking at. But that being said, only 11 transfer portals.
17.
17, thank you. Okay, so not a huge difference, but 6 players on that roster. So he is saying the biggest questions are tampering, the speed of decisions, the lack of contracts. There are contracts, but what do they really mean? Lack of consequences. Well, yes, just like your children, just like your employee, like when Gaither's always late by 20 minutes, I've got to crack the whip and I'll say, you're got to go and, watch paint dry. So how much do you think fear of consequences stops teams? And then I'll follow that up with this. There were consequences for years if you paid players.
Yeah.
SMU got the biggest consequence of all time. And other teams, we know, have been hit before. But that seemed to be less and less. I mean, it was still happening way, way under the table. When they caught USC or USC caught themselves, it was after the fact. Did it really matter?
Yeah.
So I don't know if there's ever is too strong of a word. I don't know how much consequences matter, but I think when there were some consequences, there was at least a fear to cross the line.
I mean, if there weren't a fear of consequences, they wouldn't be doing it under the table. There would be more highlight that you would know about it more so, but since there was a fear of consequences, you don't know what's happening. It's under the table, it's secret, it's hidden. But nowadays, I think, it's kind of harder to have a fear of a consequence because you can just change a rule at any point in time.
To upset everybody again, here's another soccer thing. Like, first off, if you sign a contract, I think you should have to uphold that contract, right? I do. But if you're not happy there, you're going to do whatever, you're holdout or angry or whatever. In soccer, you have to buy out a contract.
Yeah.
So what small clubs do is they get these they develop these players who become superstar players, and then when the Manchester Uniteds or the Real Madrids or the Barcelona try to get these players, they buy them out, and they give a financial reward to the smaller team to make it worth their while, and they can reinvest in their development. I mean, I think there should be something like that, but I don't think he's off to. I think he's right in what the vision is.
Yeah.
I don't know if he's right completely in that. This Protect College Sports Act and all the things that they're trying to do. I think is trying to move in that direction, but quien sabe, as we like to say. All right, let's do this. Set a break. Come back. One final segment here on a Friday edition of TexAgs Live, and we will, look at the wide receivers. Is that what you want to get into?
Yeah, let's do wide receivers.
All right, and hopefully you signed up for your preseason kickoff because it's going to be great on July the 25th. You're listening to the TexAgs Live presented by David Gardner's Jewelers. Reach out to Chance McClain, get your family's story done. Your family deserves to have their story told in a documentary form. Everybody's family. Gaither, patriarch of your family is who?
My what?
Like the leader. Like who's the
my
leader?
dad.
Your dad.
Yeah.
He's got a cool story.
He does have a cool
story.
career. He does have a cool career.
Right? He's done a lot of amazing
He's done
things.
a lot of versatile, amazing, interesting things.
All right. And I'm sure you know those stories.
Yeah.
But will you be able to pass those stories on to the future generations with the clarity that your pops has given to you?
In the future, I don't think I would be able to do that.
My suggestion to the family, the Gaither family, is to reach out to Chance McClain and all of you as well, because we all got a story, and have him tell that 2-hour story in a documentary form that'll feel like a Netflix special. Go to yourheritagefilm.com. Yeah, it's a spot, guys. It is. But I truly believe in it. I truly believe in Chance. is going to make a difference for your family. It's something that, 20 years from now, your kids can watch. Call them up, 713-893-8341, 713-893-8341. It's Heritage Films. Gaither, you've got a topic.
I do have a topic. So
See, I went gangster earlier and I went schoolgirl later.
this is like fun girly talk now.
Let's go talk about wide receivers.
Let's talk about wide receivers. Why don't we? So Athlon Sports put out their top 25 receiving corps in college football for 2026. A&M obviously made the list, or I wouldn't be talking about it right now. But where do you think A&M's wide receiver corps was ranked for the 2026 wide receiver corps list?
In the SEC.
No.
In the college football.
College football.
Okay, I have not seen this.
Mm-mm.
All right, I'm going to say, you said CBS Sports?
Athlon Sports.
Athlon Sports, okay, they're family. Actually, they're not at all. They don't even know each other. They've never talked. I'm going to say 6.
You're very close.
5th?
A&M's at number 7.
Okay, I was close.
Yeah, very
Okay.
close.
So let me know who's ahead and who I should be mad at.
Okay, so number
Ohio
1.
State?
Yes, Ohio State, you're correct.
Okay.
With Jeremiah Smith and some other wide receivers like Carnell Tate. And then number 2, Texas.
Yeah, Cam Coleman, Ryan Wingo, I get it.
Miami is at number 3.
Okay. There's a guy that we know quite well. His name is Malachi Toney.
We know him pretty well, I
Unfortunately.
would say. Number 4 is Oregon.
They're so far away that I feel like they're another. By the way, I am higher on Oregon. I think Oregon might be Indiana.
Interesting. Okay.
I might be wrong. I don't know.
We'll see.
I think you got a returning quarterback that's good, that could have gone to top 10 in the NFL draft. I think that makes a huge difference.
Yeah, for sure. Number 5, we were just talking about this team, Clemson.
Clemson?
Clemson at number 5.
Who's their quarterback?
Let's see. It doesn't say who their quarterback is, but it says the nation's top receiving duos with TJ Moore and Bryant Wesco Jr. are back this fall. Wesco Jr. was limited to just 7
Chris
games.
Vezina. I didn't know that.
So Wesco Jr. was limited to just 7 games due to an injury, but still grabbed 31 receptions for 537 yards and 6 scores.
Hold on. What was his numbers again?
So he missed games.
Yeah.
He was in just 7 due to an injury, but still had 31 receptions for 537 yards.
That's pretty
and
darn
6
good.
Scores
That's pretty darn
for
good.
7 games. Yeah,
That's really
pretty
good.
Moving on, number 6, Indiana. So just ahead of Texas A&M, Indiana.
I'm okay with that.
And I see that. And then, of course, number 7.
This is what they don't know.
Oh.
And we don't know either, but what they don't know.
Okay.
They don't know Aaron Gregory.
They don't.
I don't know what they say. I doubt they know that much about ABR.
I will give you the little blurb, what they say.
Blurb it.
You give me your reaction.
Let's blurb it.
So it says, Casey Concepcion's playmaking ability will be missed, but the Aggies bring back Mario Craver with 59 catches for 917 yards and 4 scores, Ashton Belther-Roman, 21 yards per catch, and Alabama transfer Isaiah Horton arrives to give quarterback Marcel Reed a big target in the red zone. Terry Bussey and true freshman Aaron Gregory
they do know.
will also contribute at receiver. Transfers Richie Anderson from Fresno State and Houston Thomas from UTSA will man the tight end spot for Coach Mike Elko.
Okay, well, you know what? Fine. They're good.
Maybe they know. Maybe
they know. Okay. I would say there's a lot more unproven there than some of the other ones.
Yeah.
But I don't think Mario Craver's unproven, and I don't think Isaiah Horton's unproven. And I got no problem with them being 7th. I don't know. 7th, 4th,
I
3rd.
think the unproven ability from Aaron Gregory, Houston Thomas, Richie Anderson, Terry Bussey, maybe not Terry Bussey as much, but there's still some development there. That might be why Texas A&M is at 7, but this is still a really good receiving core list here.
But I would ask you why or how or when. Quarterback, okay, number 1 was Ohio State, okay? We understand their quarterback situation.
Yeah.
Okay. Number 2, we understand their quarterback situation in Texas.
Yep.
Number 3 was Clemson?
Miami.
Darian Mensah, the most thought out or the most, whatever the word is. They were looking for him. All right. Darian Mensah. Who's next?
Number 5 was Clemson.
Clemson.
Or I'm sorry, number 4 was Oregon, number 5 was Clemson.
Okay. Quality quarterback.
Definitely.
Clemson. Vezina. Okay.
Yeah.
Vecino in Spanish means neighbor. And if my neighbor was the quarterback of this team, they'd be terrible. I don't know enough about him to be able to gauge him. He's an unknown. Okay. Who else? 6 again?
6 was Indiana.
Okay. Good quarterback. A&M, good quarterback. So I'm okay with that list. And I'm actually okay with Clemson being there based on the production returning.
Yeah.
But I think they would be the biggest question mark. Who's right after A&M?
Florida is at number 8.
They could surprise a lot of people this year because every year, the last couple of years, under the prior administration with Billy Napier, this could be the year. They got talent. They just didn't have the right person in charge.
They also have a question mark at quarterback as well.
They do.
So
yeah, just let's finish up the top 10.
All right, number 9, Alabama. And number 10.
Question marks at quarterback again?
Definitely a question mark. Number 10, Florida State.
I don't even know if their coach is going to make it.
I know.
Right?
He's a big question mark. He's been on the hot seat in many lists that I've seen this offseason.
But he's been on the hot seat most of the years I've worked at TexAgs.
Yeah.
And then he had that big year or two, and they're like, oh, wait, he's Mike Norvell. Don't sleep on Mike Norvell.
Mike Norvell. But now,
I kind of like Mike Norvell.
I like him, but he's back on the hot seat for me as well.
Yeah, he's on the hot seat.
He's always on the hot seat.
It's very hot. Folks, the next time you see my face, if you watch, it'll be from SEC Media Days in Tampa. Next time you hear my voice, it depends if you watch an old or listen to an old episode. That's also part of it. But the next live version of this program will be from Tampa, Florida for the SEC Media Days. Thanks to Paragon Financial for that. Thank you to everybody watching and listening. I don't know who our guests are, but I guarantee you they'll be great. We'll see you then.